in chat can hear you as well, but I can hear you well.
Hell yeah. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. I'm doing good. I just had some commentary this morning. I think you know a thing or two about that. And
I do, yep.
and just getting set for a stream.
Hell yeah. This is the first one of these we're doing, by the way, for my chat. I'm gonna be completely dark for a second. I'm getting the webcams configured, but hey, what's up, everyone from the chessbrah chat? Who's in your chat right now? Is that any of my buddies from Tulum?
Definitely. We got some people that for sure have met you and remember you from Tulum here. I think we got at least Aiden, Neil,
nice.
that I saw, but probably a few more.
Saw Neil. What's up, Dr. Lord Mayonnaise? I don't think he's in Tulum, but
no, yeah. You're right. You got to call him out. We got to get Dr. Lord Mayonnaise out to these events.
Got to get him out there for sure. Okay, 1 second.
We're both doing the exact same thing right now. It's like, okay, yeah, give me 1 second. Let me get this Discording up.
They gotta come up with a better way to do it. Like it's the Discord. This has gotta be a problem somebody can solve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. But have you been? So you've been training, and you've been training obviously way more boxing than chess because you're good at chess, as it turns out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's obviously important to train both, and I'm not forgetting about the chess, but for me, definitely boxing is a clear area to spend a bit more time.
Right, that's where the deficiency is going to be, if anything.
Yeah, I think so. But the thing is, my opponent is also very good at chess, so while it's comfortable for me, it's also comfortable for him.
Right. What is like, yeah, I mean, so I follow you guys a lot closer than like, for example, Trent and I know he's an IM. Yeah. And I think for a lot of people who are, more casual spectators, I think you see the titles and then you're like, that's all you know. So you're like, oh, Amon's a GM, Trent's an IM, done.
Yeah, claps. Free. Yeah.
Easy win, right? But that's not how it goes.
No, definitely not. Like you can definitely make the case that, obviously there's a difference. That's clear. But at the same time, like, an IM, especially a chess boxing thing, I feel like, when people are getting smacked in the head, you might not notice the difference as much.
Yeah. So I was in your chat the other night when we were watching oh god, I forgot their names. There was the Rhino. There's my boy the Rhino.
Yeah.
And there was the bomb defusal.
Yep.
I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, those two. And yeah, like the level of play, I was not ready for how much the level of play would be affected. And that's the part that I'm the most scared of. Just like, yeah, the guy who was he was like 1900chess.com and he just straight up started missing like hanging rooks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly. We watched like a chess boxing match. Just for anyone that didn't know or doesn't know what we're talking about, we watched like a chess boxing match because I was like, okay, what are we getting into here? I wanna get the lowdown, and yeah, it was like very surprising how a very strong chess player was playing like a total beginner, missing like easy stuff.
Dude, it was like, and I kind of imagined that is going to be more pronounced, obviously, at the lower levels, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to be really interesting. And I think for me, what I've kind of decided is I think you can get, I've sort of realized, I think people who put some effort into having actual chess boxing practice, like I'm trying to do an actual chess boxing session. Like I was talking to one of the Smash guys, and I think I'm going to go down a few days early, and like we're actually going to do melee boxing and chess boxing using the exact format, like the exact format of because I bet some people will not do that. Some people will just train boxing and train chess and assume
for sure. Enough. I agree with you. I'm also going down early, so that's a very, very good idea. And I had the same thought, like I want to be in the exact format so I know what it feels like to get someone who wants to hit you in the head hits you in the head for a minute and a half or 2 minutes, whatever it is, and then you go and try to play a chess game.
Yeah. And my coach, even like my boxing coach, not my chess coach, my boxing coach was like, we should try like doing one of our sparring sessions and then you play some chess on your phone. And I was like, yeah, but like over the board is so different to where I almost don't feel like that's even good practice. Like maybe that's something, but my thing is I've been going to a lot more. Actually, it's funny because the first time was probably at Jack London Square when I was in Toronto, but since then I've been going to a lot more over the board. Like I've been going to parks. I've been going
That's
to
good.
Like, yeah.
I think that's what
I
you
actually
need.
I entered this Mechanics Institute classical tournament, which is actually probably not good practice. It's like not really. I kind of just was signing up for over the board stuff, and I was like, well, I've never done a classical tournament. Everyone tells me I should. It'll make your calculation better. So I was like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
So I did that. I'm playing one round every Tuesday. Okay, granted, yeah, that's not really blitz. So, but speed I think is crucial. So,
definitely. But I think that's important, right? To have that.
yeah.
For you especially, like I think the nerves and everything, like being able to handle the pieces properly, not have them like slip out of your hands, like even small things like that. I think is you need a lot of practice with, and if you just feel more comfortable handling the pieces and with that format than your opponent, I think that could just mean a lot.
Right. I have a question for you about, and actually this is kind of just a question. I just think it's like a fascinating aspect of chess.
Yeah.
For title players.
Yeah.
Which is how much stock do you put and how much personally are you prepping and doing prep for a specific opponent? Because I always thought this was cool. Because like for me, to get better at chess, most of the time I don't prep at all. I study what I want to study and learn what I want to learn, do the end games, and then I go and I play random people on the internet. But if you're a title player, you're actually going to events and you're preparing for specific people. Mm-hmm. And you can find games. So obviously you've got Trent and you can see what he plays. So how important do you think that is? And are you prepping a little bit for him specifically, or?
I think it's a different question whether you're asking for a general tournament or something. But in the context of the chess boxing, I don't think it's very important at all.
Okay.
Because I think the game's going to be very short, and it's probably more about getting a position you're comfortable with than trying to beat the guy in theory. And when your head's going to get like knocked around a little bit, I don't think you're going to be trying to remember a whole bunch of prep or like try to beat his opening. I think it's going to be more about like who can just get a level position and make reasonable moves over the course of, getting punched in the head. So I don't think like I would be prepping too specifically for his openings. I'd just be prepping myself for a regular game and try not to get in like too much trouble. I think the worst thing in a chess box, with no experience, by the way, I'm saying these things, but I think the worst thing is to get into a position maybe where you're like defending, because it's just so much easier, more intuitive to get an attacking position, and I feel like the easier position to play matters a lot.
Even that game we watched where 1700 bomb defuse little homie, I forget his name, where he lost a piece, but then he had the pawns rolling on the G&H falls. I was like, I kind of would rather be white. Like, I don't think white was better, but that didn't look fun.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I think the chess boxing rewards aggressive styles, and I don't have that, so I don't think it's up my alley, so to speak. So I will probably not be looking to go into like a bunch of theory or anything like that. Right.
Yeah.
What about you? Yeah, have you thought about that?
I have. I'm working with my. It's not really. I have a normal coach it's a big secret. I've got a very, very secret coach who everyone in Tulum met, and who really likes, those sorts of openings. So we're prepping some stuff, and I'm trying to, because I think you're right. I think just playing simple positions confidently is going to be what's important, but I feel like. It's interesting because I feel like for me, I've got a little bit of rating on Sardosh because Sardosh is like 1600 right now. I'm like 1800. Mm-hmm. And the way I'm kind of thinking about it is I feel like the pressure is on him to either come at me hard in the boxing or like to really hold his own in the chess. Like I feel like I have the luxury of, in a sense, like I can play the way I want to play. Like if I wanted to, I could play more solid and just really work on my boxing and try to knock the sucker out. Or like I can try to edge him out in chess and basically just like play. And this was kind of what my boxing coach was telling me. He's like, you know, you should consider just almost not even like throwing and just kind of defending and like Mayweathering it up, right?
Yeah.
For and just let him tire himself out because he's gonna feel the pressure. He's gonna feel like he's got to go aggressive in the ring. You just wear him out, just get him tired. He's
Right.
gonna make worse moves because he's tired. And then in the later rounds, you can beat the snot out of him. So I'm kind of thinking about how I want to juggle that. And I think that's, you probably have that to a certain degree too, where you're better than Trent naturally at chess. So like, there's that element of like, they have to make something happen in either the boxing or the chess. And that's kind of what I'm strategically trying to figure out right now. So I want to,
how you want to handle that. Because I've just pulled up like Sardosh's account on chess.com on my stream here. And I mean, the guy's blitz rating is taking a bit of a hit there, buddy. Lately, I see he's kind of dropped like 200 points or something.
So yes, and I don't know what's going on.
Are these tactics? Is he trying to get in your head?
What I'm saying, bro, I don't know.
He's tossing games. You know,
an elaborate French ruse. Yeah, because his peak is like 1733 blitz. Don't ask me why I know the exact number. I do. I keep track of it. Okay. But like the other week, I look at his account every now. I want to see how my competition's doing. And the other week he was like down in like the 1300s. He was like 1390 something. And I was like, you know, I've tilted. Okay, we've all been there. We play a little too much late night blitz, and I've tilted. And I would say when I'm maximally tilted, like fuck this shit level tilted,
like tilt,
YOLOing moves, I will play 100 elo below my rating. I've never gone 400 elo below. I don't even know what that fucking looks like, bro. What the fuck?
It's a lot, right? It's a big difference. As a streamer, I always know I'm capable of it somehow, but for me, 400 is a stretch. Like that really would be low 2500 or like almost 2400. That's not possible. But low 2600 is possible for me.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know if it's some elaborate French tactics. The thing that's trippy to me is he streams a lot. Like he's a streamer, you know, like he came up and he's League of Legends. He's from League of Legends.
But and he streams his chess too. Like he plays and streams it.
Yeah. And so there's days where he's streaming chess for like 10, 11 hours. So my perspective is like, okay, if he's doing some off stream, you know, shenanigans, if he's grinding some Smurf account off stream, or if he's grinding some opening stuff off stream, how does he have enough hours in the day to do that? Because he streams 11 hours a day. Sometimes 11 hours of chess. So
he's a grinder.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I
was just pulling up your account to compare, but yeah, you've obviously got some meat on the bone here, especially in the blitz. You're a good favorite.
Yeah.
Now
I'm definitely peak sitting on this account, but the main reason I'm doing that, I didn't want to say it the other day, but obviously the main reason I'm doing that is I'm mostly these days playing on my off-stream Smurf that no one knows about. I mean, no one knows what the name is. I have an off-stream Smurf, but like,
you got to get the practice in before the match, you know?
Yeah. I only play on this account on stream now, at least until the match. So is what it is.
That's fair.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird because for me, chess improvement has been a very non-linear thing. Like you remember we had that fucking bet. I gifted you guys 20 subs because I lost it. I was stuck at 1300 for like a year.
And then crazy. It's so crazy that you lost that bet when you look at your account now. It's wild. Yeah. It's like I feel like I got in on a stock and just made a good day trade. Because if I was short the stock like long term, I'd be broke.
Right. So I don't know. For me, like, I literally, my chess improvement has been like stuck and then huge jump and then stuck and then huge jump and stuck and then huge jump. But I never really know.
It's pretty normal, honestly. Like you improve and then you plateau. Like you don't just improve and just keep going. Like you don't just send it 500 points, 600 points up. Like you improve a small thing in your game or maybe a big thing and it's worth 50 or 100 elo points over a long period of time. But then you see that it kind of diminishes, and then you're just at that new level.
I'm gonna plug for your chat, everyone in the chessbrah chat. Y'all should all consider whenever the next chessbrah camp is, because dead ass. I like barely had hit 1500 when I went to Tulum, and then like as soon as I got back from Tulum, I got like another 200 rating points, like almost instantly. Because I mean, yeah, no, I'm saying like it was a really good time. So people should definitely go. The ones who went, no, but yeah, no, I'm actually curious how common that is. Like out of the other people who went to Tulum, if anyone else had that experience, because I felt like I got so much like knowledge and so much over the board experience playing everybody on the roof and shit that
exactly.
it just gave me a lot to think about, and I got a lot better. Yeah.
I think it might be. I think in general, anytime that you make a very serious effort to involve yourself surround yourself with like ways that you'll improve at chess, like it generally pays off. When you know you're taking serious steps, you're not just like reading, you're not just like signing up for one course or watching one video, but you're like, okay, for a month, I'm gonna watch like a different opening video every single day, and then I'm gonna take the moves from that video, I'm gonna put them on a chessboard, and I'm gonna save that PGN. And you just do it for a month. Like I just made that up, but let's say you did that for a month. Yeah. There's no shot that you won't improve. Like it's just impossible.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like it's yeah, that's the funny thing about it. There's so many ways you go about it. Like you could literally just like do that. You could do that with endgames too.
Yep.
Like I got on this like chessable version of like 100 endgames you should know or whatever, and I've just been slowly doing those.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's like it's pretty good, definitely. So.
Yeah, so you're up against Sardosh. People might know him like from PogChamps that that he did, and then yourself. Yeah, you have the edge in the chess. And are you both just like total question marks in boxing, like pretty much the rest of the card?
That's how I feel about it. So yeah, it's funny, and we should talk about boxing because I'm very curious, kind of how your training's been going. I feel like. Okay, so first of all, what we do know, I know we actually have, it's kind of funny. We have like this like little group chat. It's me and him and Ludwig, because every week we do weight check-ins. Because like, I was one of the people I was basically one of the biggest fat asses. Okay, I'll say it. I was like, coming into this when I got started off, when it got confirmed, and when I signed the contract, I was like 182 or 3 pounds.
Okay.
Now I'm 168 pounds. So I've already lost 13 or 14 pounds, and we're meeting at 160. Sardosh is like low 150, and he's actually got to gain weight. So we're kind of meeting in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's an inch shorter than me. I know he's 5'7" or 5'8" or some shit. So I feel like that's good because that's wingspan. And I'm going to be a little heavier than him. Obviously, there's weight classes.
For sure. Yeah, but, you just got to be like within a range.
You got to be within 10 pounds. Yeah. And that's a legal thing, I found out.
Yeah, that's literally. You just can't box otherwise.
Yeah. So I feel like stats wise.
But you're going from 182 to like around 160.
Yeah.
So you're going minus 22 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? And he's going like plus 10 or so.
Plus 10 or so.
Right.
Or less.
And like, and mine is hilarious because mine is like, I'm like 172 ish.
Okay.
Like normally. And
so we're like the same weight now.
Now we are. But I'm like 172. Lawrence is like 200. And we are meeting at 190.
Oh.
190, but okay, like it's not like I must be 190. I just have to be over 180, as you just said.
You got to be over 180, and he's got to be
under 190, exactly.
The way I'm looking is like 5 pounds ish. Like if I'm thinking Sardosh is going to be like 155 to 160, I'm going to be like 160, 165, and then it's safe. So are you drinking like weight gainers? Are you doing any kind of
So I have to bulk, and so I identify with Sardosh in the sense of like, okay, I know that grind, and like as much as people want to say like, oh, it's a privilege to be able to just eat and gain weight. It's for sure difficult to put on weight when that's like not your lifestyle, like that's not usual for you. And at least when you're doing it, like big props to lose the weight, but at least it's well within the range of what you're doing. Like you lose weight when you get in shape, and when you put on weight and just like gorge food wise, it's like counterproductive to your actual training. So
Right, because you feel more tired.
Yeah, you feel
Like
super
if you
tired, bloated, and like it's hard to put on like just muscle. You know what I mean? Like
So what weight are you guys doing? Is it one? You said 190?
under 190 and then over 180. So
Got
I
it.
could end up anywhere in there, basically.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And
and
he's
I
got a
mean, yeah, he's got to drop, but I think he'll drop naturally and get in like the best shape of his life type of thing. Whereas for
yeah.
me, like that's like close to peak weight for me. So that's like weird territory. I have been as high as like just under 190, like
Mhm.
COVID energy, but not for like a long period of time and never like comfortably. Like I don't walk around at like
Yeah,
185 plus, so it'll feel weird, I think.
yeah. That is. Have you? Well, I mean, I guess the obvious question is, have you been lifting too, or just boxing training?
Yeah, so there's like some strength training that I do like at boxing. So I haven't been like
Okay.
also going to
Okay.
gym in conjunction with that. But there is some like weight stuff that I do during the boxing
Okay.
training for that. But
Kettlebells
but
and
not a lot. Not a lot, I will say, not like a ton.
because you have a valuable resource on top of whoever your boxing coach is, because you have Moj,
Mm-hmm.
which Moj knows his stuff. That's
He
that's
really
a good.
does.
I feel like that's a valuable resource. If you were trying to get like a little bit swole for this, I feel like Moj could help you out.
That was like the
Just
one of the
just a
first
thought.
things we said. Like
Really?
before like anything, we were like, not only have we done that before, not
Yeah.
to gain a specific weight or lose a specific weight, but we've done like home workouts, we've done stream workouts that Jeff has like,
Right.
instructed. I mean, we
Yep.
even do the push. Aryan was here. We were doing push-ups on stream. So yeah, Moj regimenting everything is also indeed a legitimate asset.
Yeah. That makes all sense. It's funny because for me, like the cool thing about this whole event for me is like the gym I was already going to has a boxing gym. Like the downstairs of the gym I was already lifting at had a boxing ring and bags and stuff. So for me, it was kind of a no brainer. I was like, okay, this is sick. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and just add in the boxing sessions. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing at this point is just like I feel like I'm in good shape. I
Yep.
feel like technique wise and stuff like that and conditioning wise, I'm coming along. But at this point, it's just the actual fighting, like the
The
actual
actual
sparring. Because if
fighting, the chess as
yeah,
well.
the chess as well for sure. Have you done much sparring yet?
No, I haven't done any. I haven't done any
You
sparring.
haven't done. Oh, you haven't done any sparring.
No, no. I
Okay.
I definitely will like this month
Yeah.
in October, but I haven't yet. So I've mostly been doing like ton of cardio, ton of like technique,
Yeah.
and I would say like if I had to score myself in each category or something like a
Mhm.
my player creation in 2K,
Yeah.
then
Right.
I would be like low power and like probably good technique. So I'm learning the technique and I'm
Okay.
totally new to it, but it's just my thing that no matter what I do, I'm usually like not the most powerful, even like bouldering, like I go rock climbing. I think I have good
Mm.
technique for my level, but my
Mm.
level's not very high and I'm not super strong like with the pull-ups and the actual strength that some people just muscle their way up stuff. And I usually
Right.
have like a technique way to achieve the same result. And I think it's probably going to be the same with boxing. It's the way I play chess too. I'm not like a super
Yeah.
attacking player, like very positional and kind of controlled. So I feel
Mhm.
like that's going to be me in boxing as well. But I don't know. Do you have a style
Yeah.
yet, or do you have like a feel?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I try to be the same way, but it's funny because obviously I think the fit like I never really like been I've never been in like a real fight, right? So for me, like I've sparred like two or three times at this point, and I've kind of like I feel like I know what to do, but I have to like be constantly reminding myself of just like the fundamentals when it comes to like keeping your hands up, keeping your eyes on the opponent, like not like my coach was telling me like, oh, you got happy feet. Like,
Mm,
if I come at you, you kind of wear yourself out trying to like reposition and kind of and like you got to just trust your reflexes and trust your. And once he told me that I could do it and I could, like actually block and like actually like parry or redirect or whatever.
yeah,
But my instinct is like burn a lot of energy
to escape the
defending
situation or
to
something.
escape the situation. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And so I think getting that under control is kind of the thing that I'm working on.
for sure.
But it's been cool because we've got to the point where, because when you're doing like the technique and shit like that, it's a lot of like, I felt like it was a lot of, this is me and this is what I'm doing. And then once you start sparring, then it becomes like a 2-player game. Then it's like when a chess player learns, yeah, okay, you learn how to checkmate your opponent, you learn the form of checkmate or whatever, but then you got to learn, like, at a certain point, your opponent makes a move, and you got to ask yourself, well, why did he make that move? So that's kind of what I'm working on now, and it's kind of hard because it's obviously it's fast, but like, yeah, I'm kind of like working on, I guess, the counterplay. That's kind of where my head's at right now. But it's cool because now when I shadow box, when I hit the bag, like I actually try to imagine somebody there, like doing something.
Yeah.
And I think
so
that's what you're supposed to do.
Reacting to something.
Right. But it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. I think, man, yeah. Let me know when you start sparring for sure.
Yeah, I definitely will. Because you're saying, in terms of like, let's say reach or difference, like, do you know anything about your opponent? Because I don't know actual stats about Trent. I've like met the guy and like we've hung out and everyone could see him or whatever, but I don't have like, you know, the written stats or anything.
Yeah. All I know is I'm a little bit taller than Sardosh. Not much, but I know I'm a little bit taller. Gotcha. So which in theory I think is just, it could only help you because wingspan. But I don't know. I would say we're probably similar. How tall is Trent? Is he taller than? Is his weight like height?
No, I like, from what I know, like he's definitely not taller than me. I'm like 6 foot, and I don't think he's taller for sure.
Okay.
And he's like 200, so I'm saying that the weight has got to be it's got to be packed down below there somewhere. You know?
Yeah, because he's not like, he doesn't look, he's definitely not a fat dude or anything. He's not.
The guy either has a massive gut or just a massive hog. You know? It's like, I'm dealing with, it's a tough spot to be in either way.
It's a tough spot to be in either way. That's for sure. That's for sure. Because, the massive gut, you know, that could be, well, that could give him some added defense. And if he's got a massive hog, that means he's going to have the aggression factor.
For sure. Right? Yeah, just the testosterone will be...
The testosterone.
Way up there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to... Like, you could... That's to me, that's the crazy part, is like, you could sit here and look at, you know, the full history of somebody's chess games, and you can see exactly how they play, and you can really get in their head. You know, it's to where, like, I'll be looking at Sardosha's games, and I'm, like, looking at, like... I've been looking at, like, does he go down on time?
Right.
You know, does he go down on time looking for tactics? Is he fast and positional? When does he blunder? What are the factors that make him blunder? You know.
Yeah, man, that's what you got to get that, like, you got to get that, like, chess.com premium, you know, chess.com insights. Like, you got to get the full data report.
Yeah, like machine learning but you can't do any of this for boxing. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know shit about how.
Unless there's tape to watch.
Right. Unless there's tape to watch. Bro, my coach was saying, like, he's like, you realize this is information warfare at this point. I was like, oh, word? He's like, yeah, like, we got to put out a video on Instagram of you training southpaw. I was like, okay, one, that's pretty smart. And two, if we do that, we should just put out a video of me training normally, but like just go into it with editing and flip it. Flip it left to right.
Yeah, there's a lot of internet warfare tricks to play for sure.
Yeah. But it's pretty nuts. It's definitely pretty nuts. I've never done anything like this. And like, it's crazy because like my whole life right now is preparing for one guy.
Uh-huh.
How often does that happen? Like, I'm preparing for one match with one person, you know? Like, that's like really rare, I feel.
Definitely. Like, I don't know how it works in Smash as much. Like, you just might meet these people in tournaments, and of course the best kind of float to the top, so you might do some work preparing a specific matchup because the specific player is like known to play a certain character, but ultimately you don't really have like just these massive like 1v1s that you train specifically for one dude for.
Yeah, almost never. I mean, there's like sometimes people do events, like there'll be some kind of money matches or some kind of exhibition set or something that's coming up where someone will have that preparation, but it's very rare. And it's
like, is there time at a tournament? Let's say like the pairings come out or the matchups come out. Is there like time between that really gets used genuinely, like prepare for that one dude?
The only Actually, kind of yes. Because it'll usually be at most tournaments, it'll be like going into top, because usually top 8 is on Sunday, and you know what the pairings are going in, so you'll spend the night preparing to a certain degree. Usually, you'll see people will say shit, and always on Twitter, someone's like, "Okay, I got this guy. Are there any good, like, say you're playing Plup, who's a really good Sheik player, so you see people tweet like, are there any really good Sheiks that I can practice with tonight? Like, is there anyone who plays this character that I can grind with for a couple hours?" So people do that, but that's the extent of it. Is usually like a 1-day affair, not a couple month affair. Almost never. I guess the best example was really funny because in one of the most recent tournaments, Zane, who did win the event, he was trying to win, but he's always had a really tough time with Pikachu in specific. And he had Axe the next day, and he had never beaten Axe ever. Yeah, he's lost to him 20 times when he'd come up. So he's like,
it's like some Hikaru Magnus type scores.
Yeah, exactly. But Zane's considered better at this point. He's better against the field for sure. But he flew out basically the second best Pikachu player. He was like, literally, I will buy you a plane ticket to this event to come here tomorrow morning because we got 5 hours between when you would land from the airport and my top 8. So
I like that.
So he flew a dude out.
That's dope.
Yeah, and it came down to the wire and he barely won. And I don't think he would have won if he didn't do that shit. So people do shit like that, but it's rare. It's more rare for sure.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, at a chess event, if it's like organized well and it's one game a day, then you'll always have time to prepare for like the one person. And because it's pretty easy to just like click through somebody's online database, you get an idea like what they have a tendency to do pretty easily.
Right. Even like I've kind of noticed with, obviously with title players, like you guys don't always, like GMs aren't always playing. Okay, like obviously there's exceptions. There's like MVL, right? Like MVL plays like 3 openings or whatever, but I feel like many GMs will mix it up. But I guess even still.
Yeah, for sure. But I think if you're at like my level, well, first of all, it's a lot different because if I'm not competing as much anymore and I've kind of been streaming more, I'll default to a few things that I know rather than a wide variety of openings because I just don't have time to maintain them anymore. So it'll become more narrow by default. But I think if you're like talking about 2,500 and under, like maybe new GM or a relatively low rated GM or below, people are not doing like IMs like Trent, for example. I'm sure he doesn't have like a super wide repertoire. He might be changing over time, but in general, I think people play what they play. Like they're not trying to get too busy.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, and it's funny, like even at like like I played this guy yesterday who's like 1,600 USCF at the Mechanics Institute, and even for him, like I went on ChessBase and like I found a bunch of his games. I'm like, all right, this guy plays 1F4 like every game,
and you can find people online now. Like you can find their chess.com, and that's like evidence these days.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to find a way to go from their real name to their chess.com account.
Well, what I'm saying is like if it's in their account, you can just search it up.
Oh,
like people put their name on their account, and especially if they're like a title player, then their name has to be on their account in order to get the public like free diamond membership. So there's just a few cases where you just like put their name in Google chess and like their chess.com profile just pops up.
Shit. Yeah. Wait, what kind of title do you need to get the free diamond?
Anything that's recognized by FIDE, and I believe they also recognize National Master.
Oh, they do NM? Okay.
Yeah, National Master, baby. That's it.
I gotta save that fucking $7 a month. I gotta get
exactly.
I've realized. We saw the chess.com report. Basically, if you're fucking 30 years old like I am, you're not gonna be a GM. Okay, that's fine. I kind of feel like I could get a title though. You know what I'm saying? Like
a title for sure.
You get a title.
Yeah, and I think it's a good goal for a lot of people. Yeah, my chat's trolling about ACM. We were diving into a hilarious.
What's the A? What's the A?
We were diving into a hilarious rabbit hole, which I knew about, but I never fully checked the requirements of. But basically, the like World Chess Federation, FIDE, they have an online. Basically, they have their own version of like a very, very, very small scale chess.com. They have their own play arena within their website, which you can imagine like nobody uses, literally nobody. It's trash, like it's so garbage, but they have a place you can play, and they they also sell you like a premium membership, whatever it is, $25 a year, like just something, a small little cash grab. But if you play in their server and basically you maintain like 50 rapid games or 150 bullet games or whatever it is, if you like maintain over a certain rating threshold for that many games, you get the title that FIDE associates with that rating threshold. So FIDE has titles called ACM, Arena Candidate Master. So it's all the normal titles, but it's A. So it just refers to doing it in the FIDE Arena, like the online zone where you can play chess. Yeah. And essentially...
Did they give you a fucking title?
Yeah, they give you a title that you can... It recognizes it over the board. So a GM could sit down and be playing against an AGM. So it's essentially something that I would laugh at someone eternally for forever getting. Because on top of getting it, you also have to pay for it. So you have to pay €5 or something to get it. And the threshold is, I kid you not, 1,100. So 1,100, if you maintain your rating for like whatever is 50 rapid games or whatever in the FIDE Online Arena, you will be an ACM.
Wow.
It's that dumb and it's that easy. 1,100. AGM is 2,000. And trust me, this is 2,000 in a server where like there's literally probably like 8 people that play. And maybe everyone's cheating. I don't even know. Like it must be just this unregulated cesspool where like it's just the dumbest thing ever. And so chess.com does not recognize those titles. Otherwise you'd have like 500s running around trying to play Magnus and Title Tuesday.
Then you just got to do at that point you just do the math. It's like, what's more expensive, that diamond membership or the FIDE fee to play at the arena thing?
Exactly. Like it's €5 for the title. It's $25 a year if I get membership fee. You know, like you do the math and you're like, man, it's ACM is the future for me. You know,
ACM 1,100. That's like everyone in chat. That's like probably like chat on average is just a bunch of ACMs.
And real talk,
not bad.
You're like, I guarantee, even if your chat doesn't even play chess, like half your chat minimum could be ACM by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, like I'm sure of it.
Holy shit. ACM, AGM, Arena G. Okay, I thought it was like, I was struggling to figure out what the hell A stood for. Arena. Wow, I did not know that. Wait, this is on their website? Is it like some really janky, like...
It's pretty janky, but yeah, it's right on the FIDE website. Like, let me just go in there, like FIDE.com.
It's gotta be an old ass interface, huh? It's gotta be like ICC style.
It's a very trash kind of interface.
Wow. Man, you could play 150 bullet games in a night.
Yeah, I think
like
it's
that time Ferrugia did it at the candidates.
I think it's chessarena.com.
Chessarena. Oh my god, I'm gonna check this out. This site.
Chessarena.com.
FIDE Online Arena. Oh shit! Look at it. Play chess right now. You have to pay though.
I'm not sure. I think basically if you don't pay, then you can play, but it's not tracked and you can't get a title out of it. The only way to get a title is to buy the membership.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's a shame. It doesn't look as janky as I thought it would. I will say. I thought it was. I thought it'd be like. Oh wow! Look at this. Well, I mean, you know, I guess there's no.
Yeah. You thought it'd be like some, you know, Internet Explorer.
I mean, stuff. Exactly. I mean, I've seen the fucking, you know, like you know, USCF has. I think they updated it, but for a while it was like this really old looking, you know, kind of deal with the like with the rating lookup and all that shit. But okay, I mean, yeah, it's pretty funny.
I just clicked it.
It's just
there's 3 players waiting to play. 3.
Holy shit. Holy shit. It's scrolling. Yeah, here we go. Look, Arnav Singh, India, 1254, ACM.
But that's what I'm saying, man. You got ACMs that literally, they may not have touched a chess piece before. Like, wow. But they can say they have a FIDE title. I think FIDE officially calls it the lower rating band titles. Lower rating band titles.
Lower rating band. Okay. CM already is kind of a
a lower
Chill
rating
title.
band
I mean,
title.
a lower rated band title. Like, you don't. I mean, okay, I'd be happy if I was CM, obviously, but you don't go around like bragging like I'm a fucking CM. I made it. You know?
No, you don't. No.
You don't.
And the other thing about even real chess titles, a lot of people don't know that you
Yeah.
have to pay for them. Like even the
Mm-hmm.
Grandmaster title, like there's a fee you pay to FIDE and you get the certification. So first you have to earn the title and then you have to pay for it. So not only is someone a CM, but you just know they've reached into their bank account and they physically they've exchanged money with FIDE over this. And that is part of the humiliation.
Yeah, yeah. How much are the GM fees?
330 euros.
Once or like
Yeah, once.
per year? Oh,
No,
okay,
once.
okay. Yeah. I was like, holy fuck, per year. Okay, yeah. What?
And usually the
that's fine.
federation will pay it for you because it's like a very good thing for the federation if you become a grandmaster, obviously. So depending on what country you're from, but like my federation paid for my fee, and like in the US it would definitely be the case, and blah blah blah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. That's man. Okay, yeah. Is it 330 flat for like all the different titles, or is it?
No, there's different. That's obviously the most expensive.
Okay.
But there's different prices for the female titles. There's different prices for lower titles. There's different prices for like other certifications. So yeah, it's a whole other world. That's where
Man,
they make
they
their money,
really-
man. They gouge you.
Yeah.
Killing.
Yeah, it's funny because like shit like this to me, it's just like, well, we just need money. Let's see if there's three
Exactly.
suckers online that'll give us money for these A whatever titles. Then
Exactly.
yeah,
A
you know, fuck
anything.
it.
AGM, AIM. So it was just funny because Eric right now is in Austria. He's playing like a team event with Magnus.
With Magnus.
Yeah, and I just happened to be like scrolling through his tournament, and there literally is a guy there with an AIM title. It's like just hilarious to have Magnus maybe potentially sitting like near this guy, like that he even exists near Magnus. AIM and GM.
What was this guy's FIDE rating? The AIM?
I think he was like 2,000, 2,100.
Okay, all right.
I think that was
Wait,
him.
I thought wouldn't that be AGM at that point? I thought AGM was 2,000 on this thing.
Oh, but the thing is, like, I don't know if this guy wanted to play more than that. So he might have done it, got that title, and then just like left or something.
Oh, dipped.
Like who knows? But for sure,
Yeah.
he could, like for sure, anyone at 2,000 level could be the AGM, because whatever rating you are in like FIDE, it's like it. I mean, it's a joke. If it's 2,000
It's a
FIDE that you
microcosm
have,
of
it's
that.
way easier to get 2,000 in the FIDE arena.
Right. the FIDE online arena. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
So if you're looking to get FIDE titled, I'm just saying that there's the path to pro for you.
Well, unfortunately for FIDE, my sole goal is to get the free diamond membership on chess.com.
And chess.com doesn't
so-
recognize that, so
Chess.com got to start doing their own titles or some shit. If they put out a version of this, I'd grind that shit.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure, because chess.com
Anything
did
to save that
the
$7.
they did the thing, like I see you're in the legend division, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
I was grinding.
Lord
like
Lord
crazy.
knows you're a grinder, buddy. I if they didn't introduce that, you wouldn't have been playing as much. I know for a fact.
Yeah, no, it actually is funny because some weeks, like, okay, obviously it's not all the time, but then some weeks I'd like look and it'd be like top 3 advanced next division. I'd be like number 4,
Yeah.
and I'd be like,
I could play a few
I
games.
got
Yeah,
I got time. Yeah, and I just fucking play Bullet for like 3 hours. And the fucked up part is, you know, sometimes you'll be on there and you'll be like, damn, I'm playing like shit. My elo's tanking. Like this sucks. I'm playing like I'm tilted. But then you're like, but I got those league points, baby. So you're going to bed happy anyway.
Exactly. It's like, but on the other hand,
Yeah.
so do you have an account that you can play rated games on stream?
100%. Yeah, that I'll just do my normal count to prove that I'm not actually peak sitting. So I mean, we could play games right now.
So I was gonna say, a good way to start, because people probably like, you know, if we play, it's one thing, we're like different levels, but people can see your account because I put it like on screen here. Yeah, like 1,800 Blitz,
Right.
1,800 Blitz. Yeah, 1,800 pretty solid in every category, but they haven't really seen you play, seen your opening. So I was gonna suggest that one good way to start would be we'll mute each other. Like we'll mute in our call. We can stay the cams and everything, and so you can just play a couple games. You know, chat with your chat. We'll be chatting as well in my chat about you. We'll be watching you. They'll get a feel for your openings, and then we can go over those games that you play against randoms afterwards.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. All right, let's do it. So I would. Okay, let me. All right, goodbye, chessarena.com.
Exactly. The FIDE Online Arena is gonna have to take an X right here.
It's a shame. What should we do? Should I do Rapid? Should I do Blitz?
So I think
Blitz would be more pertinent.
Yeah, so first of all, chess boxing, like you're gonna be playing a Blitz game, straight up. You're not gonna be playing Rapid. And whenever like you want to just introduce people and they like to see your games and see how you play, maybe see your openings. I always think that volume is better than like quantity is better than quality. So the highest quality game that you might be able to play for us right now could be a 1 hour game, but that's not going to do us much good. We're going to see your opening and it's like, okay, it's one opening over like, you know, a 2 hour period. So I think lower time, so like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and then just get, you know, like no more than 4 games, but get a few games so we can see you against different openings, you against different players, different styles. And then we'll have some games to work off to look at. And then people also get to see you play and kind of appreciate how strong you are.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's definitely a good idea. And by the way, I have some intel for you. Because I was chatting with Ludwig about it, about the time. I don't know if this is going to, I assume they're going to standardize it across all the different matches.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Ludwig and I was like, so, you know, because we're talking about the time control thing.
Yeah.
And I thought this was interesting because we were trying to square this.
Because very relevant, right? When it comes to chess boxing, like the exact amount of time that's ticking down on the clock is so important based on like, you know, how many rounds of boxing and chess there is.
Right. And it really impacts which is going to be more important at the end of the day, the chess or the boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked Ludwig, I was like, so I noticed that in the format, and I think we're allowed to talk about it, so I'm just going to clarify for the stream.
Yeah.
The format is, because people ask me this all the time. People are like, well, so how does this work? What's the format? So for people who don't know, it's a round of chess, so 2 minutes, but it's all one chess game. So it's not like you play
a single
chess game and finish it. Yeah, over the course of several rounds. So you play 2 minutes of chess, and then you take a 90-second break, or minute break. Then you do a 90-second boxing round. Then you do a minute break, and then it resets. So you go back and forth. And it's a little bit different from the one that y'all were watching on stream because it ends in chess. So instead of like chess, boxing, chess, boxing, chess, boxing, chess, boxing, it ends at the 4th chess round. So it's basically
starts and ends with chess.
Starts and ends with chess. Exactly. Which I think is better because then you get to see the degradation of the chess skill.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, because I was asking Ludwig, if we're playing 5+0 in the Blitz in the chess game, then you know, but the chess rounds only add up to 8 minutes because it's 4 2-minute rounds. There's a very good chance that, you know, the chess game just might not finish if you get into an endgame. For example, I mean, if it doesn't end, you know, midway through, then you know you might actually just not really have a finish, and then it would just go to boxing decision, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what we might end up doing, and this was, I guess, something that they were kind of debating, was like for the final chess round, they might just play out the chess game. So either it goes to stalemate, it might be a longer than 2 minutes for it, which I think kind of makes sense because I was thinking about it and I was like, well,
yeah, I kind of like that.
If you don't play out the final round, then, because the way I was thinking about it before I realized this would be the case was, I was like, as soon as both players get below 2 minutes on the clock, their clocks don't matter anymore because you won't flag.
Yeah.
The timer for the match will just end first.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I was even thinking about, I was hitting up a buddy of mine and I was like, yo, we should practice Blitz, but I want to do time odds with you 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Cause I was like, if I want to put time pressure on him, I have to play my whole game in under 3 minutes. Otherwise he can't flag.
Yep.
But I think now we've got it clarified to where, yeah, the chess game actually will be played out. So
it's cool that it gets played out in the last round as well, because then, as you said, the degradation is at its max and you just get to see the worst versions of everybody playing chess to decide everything.
Dude, yeah. And like fucking I mean, I'll say it. Endgames are hard enough as it is. Like playing a fucking like I don't know, playing like some kind of fucking endgame like
So true.
after 3 rounds of boxing, I think is gonna be like fucking tough. Like even dude, fucking man, even last night, like I was playing this classical game,
I was gonna say,
and
like, yeah, even normally it's hard.
even normally it's hard. I was like up a pawn in a rook end game, but like his rook had more activity, and I was like, dude, like, can I win this? Like, and then I like went and I looked at an engine. I had this ridiculous, like, it ended up being a draw, but I had this like ridiculous looking pawn move that, like, you know, was sort of winning. At one point, it was like the only move to win it, and I was like, I wouldn't have seen this with a day.
Yeah.
It wasn't even one of my candidate moves.
Uh-huh.
So, anyway, yeah. All right.
I just so before we get started, I just sniped a comment in your chat,
Yep.
which is funny. Are there any ballers who just don't pay for their title? Right? Because you have to, and it's like, first of all, we had this conversation. I think it was yesterday, and the answer is definitely yes. Because if let's say you have to pay 200 euros for IM and then 330 for GM, and you make IM, you know, financially, it doesn't make sense to buy the IM if you think like, oh, I'll just be like GM real soon. So there are definitely some Giga Chads who just don't get the IM title and just skip it and become a GM.
Shit.
But I was saying, like, in the modern day now, I think it does make sense to more or less get them, because you get, not only do you get, like, let's say the lifetime diamond membership, but you also get to play events like Title Tuesday. You can't play those events if you don't have a title. Like, even if you're a Giga Chad who's like, you know, I'm that strong, but the point is, like, you don't have a title, you can't play, period. So there are people that do it, but I think it's a bit of an older approach. Kramnik is very notable for basically saying, like, you know, fuck everything, like, and just going straight to GM. Did that. Yeah, Kramnik is like big Chad energy.
Yeah. That's I get these days, especially like if you stream or do anything, it's just better to have the title. If you do
for
anything
sure.
But man, that is crazy. Yeah, you're just like, yeah, fuck that shit. That's gotta be, dude. It's gotta be terrifying to play someone like that in tournament.
Like, 100%. Someone that's just like so high rated, no title.
This guy's IM level, and he doesn't want the title because he just thinks he's got it in the bag. It's like, fuck me then. All right.
Yeah.
God damn. All right. Well, I'm on chess.com. I'm just gonna queue up. I'm just gonna play a game. I've got a daily game. Bob's Bishop is waiting on me to make a move, but I'll do that some other time.
Bob's Bishop can wait, you know.
Bob's Bishop can wait. Let me I'm gonna do this because right now covering up part of the chessboard.
So yeah, I would say, why don't you do I think 4 games is ideal, but what time control are you thinking? Like 3 or 5, like whatever you feel like. But I think it should be one of those.
I think 5 makes sense just because it is the
time we'll use, right?
It's the time we're gonna use, yeah.
Yeah. So do 5, and then let's check in after 2. But I'll probably still want you to play 2 more.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. All right. Should I mute?
Yeah. Let's mute in the call so that you can chat to your chat, like focus on your moves and whatnot, and then we'll be spectating, and people get a feel for your level and your openings.
Okay. God, I hope I don't play like chicken shit. But on the other hand, I got the best part is, even if I do play like shit, I'm just pulling a Sardoche.
Exactly. Yeah. Hope he watches this, you know?
It's win-win. Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay, I'm gonna mute up.
Yeah, me too. All right, good luck, buddy.
Yep. Thank you. Okay. I think Amon can't hear me. All right, what's up, chat? What's up, Neil? All right, we're doing some 5-minute.
I can for sure.
Just jumping in.
I can for sure hear you.
You can hear me?
I can for sure hear you.
Man, what the fuck? All right, hold up. How the fuck do you... Man, I should have a keybind on this shit. Hold up.
There we go. He's got it now.
Wait, hold up. Amon, say something. I just want to make sure you're muted to me.
Hey, well, I say something now, but I think I was muted before, and you did it right. You were muted for me, so it's all good.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
All right. We good. Is Toph in a game? I think he is, eh? Here we go. There we go. All right. Spectate this one right here. I'll even leave on the eval bar for you eval bar simps in the chat. It's like getting to have junk food, you know? You guys get a treat. You've been so good lately. You get a treat. True. So Toph's in 1800. I'm curious what you guys think of the level here. I've always said I think Toph's a good player. I think he would take a lot of names in the chat. Knight g4? Well, definitely queen move is no good, but Knight g4 makes sense to me. Bishop b5 is kind of it's a tricky move to understand. But yeah, Bishop b5, if you put something in the way, your knight is hanging. So Knight g4 is suspicious, but it's a more of an advanced concept. But you're 100% right. Knight g4 is vulnerable here. But he got the bishop, and he should be clapping now. He should be clapping now. This is like typical stuff. Hello to Neil, Lethbridge Chess, Dr. Lord Mayo, Sleazy, Grilled Peppers, Tommy. So we'll be going over these games as well. I also needed to eat my sushi. You guys notice that? That was a pro streamer move. Hey, we should mute and you should play. It's a 5-minute game. Like, it's very hard to checkmate down the H file, by the way. I would say this is very reasonable. This move, it's concerning. He does have E6, but I honestly think H takes is by far the better move. When your opponent doesn't have a dark square bishop, it's very hard to get mated here. It truly is. Or rather, it should be. It should be, yes. Famous last words, right? Chat can do it. Yeah, you guys never fail to impress me. Yeah, I just did a few bunglet. I'll be doing more of those, though. Don't worry. Okay, I like this. He's going to be faced with queen h4, queen h7. The truth of the matter is, if he just moves his rook, I don't think he should be getting mated there. It's very hard to just deliver that mate on the spot. So he's got the right idea here. All right, be honest. How many of you would panic? How many would panic here? All right, we got some honest guys in the chat. Yeah, the eval bar is also panicking. I think he's playing pretty okay, honestly. The one scary thing is this idea with knight there. But once the queen gets here and the king goes there, there's no mate. Truly is not mate. Wow. That's a high T move. That's a high T move. I love it. Takes 95. I think we're sending here, right? Where else is he going? Yeah, let's go. I like it. I like it. High T. Look at the eval now. The eval bar respects Toph. Look at that sacrifice. Guys, I almost want to see b4 here. Just rip it open. Okay, that move's probably not my favorite. I would have loved to send it. It's a great move, but send it energy would be fantastic. But Toph has a feel for this position. You know what I mean? He sacked to get the pawn back. So he's following a plan. I think he's going to win this game. I think he has things figured out. Bishop b3, by the way, like if we just even trade it, that's the bishop that was going to be super dangerous for us. So now that I see this is happening, I'm not that concerned. You guys see how easy chess is? As long as you've got the beads. Chess is easy, you know? So something here, knight check, knight takes b2, and then queen c3 will be a checkmate. So that's that was an issue. Okay, he's gonna double. I don't feel he's been seeing knight d3, so I feel like he's gonna double. Yeah, knight d3 has been around, but crushing position, in my opinion. Crushing. I think this is going to be a knockout for Mr. Toph. It's a great move as well. He's missing a basic tactic here, but knight c4 it's good. It's good. I would have loved to see queen takes, though. I think that's a big mistake. Queen takes, a2's hit, this guy's hit. Do you guys remember when we were scared about getting mated down here? In the end, we didn't even get checked. I think Toph kind of played this game like a Chad. We didn't even get checked down here. You guys admittedly were scared of getting mated. Didn't even get checked. All right. This is great. I'm glad we got to see this, guys, because we now get to witness an endgame. The reason I'm excited about this is because, for example, I would expect to beat Toph if I had the black pieces or the white pieces, because it's all about whether you know how to use your pieces. The bishop and the knight, I don't even think one is necessarily better than the other. I really don't. In this position, I would still say that either side should win, depending on basically who the higher rated player is. So we get to see an endgame, right? You can see the move f4, top engine move, right? But that's not always going to be played. And oh, there was queen f1, and if king d2, bishop h6, guys. Oh, it's still there. Of course, he's really low on time. We need to see Toph's pre-moves game. Oh, he's going the long way. Probably, oh, he's going to blunder a fork ski. And that should knock him out here. That should knock him out here. Damn, GG. We'll let him go for one more. I don't know if he's going to grab the same opponent or a different one. Yeah, it looks like he grabbed a different one. Hope he's better at boxing. this... What the hell is going on here? This is very odd. Oh my goodness. What the hell is that? This is a coffin, guys. Oh my goodness. You have either of those moves at your disposal here. Knight's protected. This could be just a massacre here. Toph, you can't lose this game, dude. You can't lose this one. It would be so unacceptable. I'm gonna have a coffee crisp as a toast to Toph for his W here. He actually can't play a really bad move here. The worst move that you could play in this position is probably Knight C3. Every other move is like very good. It's the worst move by far. It's so bad. Oh my goodness. Queen D2, Knight D2, Bishop D2, B4. They were all so good. Eval Bar said, get the fuck out of here. Oh no. You don't understand B4? Well, basically the best move in the position is Bishop D2. B4 being good is the engine's way of saying that if you take it, then you play Bishop D2. And the queen has worse options to move to from this square than it does from the other square. Like after this, then you'll play Bishop D2. So it's like if you miss Bishop D2 now, the engine's saying, yeah, you can give up a pawn and then play it. This was a fucking disaster.
That was terrible. I'm sorry. I've unmuted, by the way.
Toph.
Yeah.
That elicited a lot of people. Basically, we're all wondering and hoping that you're actually going to be good at boxing. Like at this point, we gotta head to the gym. I think the boxing gym and just make sure we're good there.
I'll be fine. No, it's just okay. So first game, basically, I was like, okay, I don't think he's got anything on the H file. He's not going to checkmate me because he lost the dark square bishop. So I was like, he's got shit king safety. I should find a way to attack. And I basically went down to 10 seconds, like stubbornly not. I should have at some point I should have been like, all right, fuck it. I don't see what my plan is. I should just not go too low on time and just fucking, just simplify a little bit and, I'm a little bit better or whatever. But I was like kind of looking for fucking crazy ideas the whole time. And then this game, I just, I fucking missed Bishop D2 and.
Yes, but, so we can just talk about this game because it's on the screen. If you want to, if you want to like click analyze or whatever, so that when I say like
game
a
review,
move, you can, you'll be able to play it as well. So what I was seeing in this one was first of all, like the guy's just rocked out of the opening. Like Queen C7 by him is suspicious, and then you continue, and his E6 move is awful, like game ending awful.
Right.
Really
and
bad.
Knight B5 is correct.
Knight B5 is great.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Knight D6 in.
Knight B5
and
is
for
great.
some reason, I fucking was like,
did you think your knight was attacked?
What? No, obviously not. The bishop's defending it. But for some fucking reason, I looked at Knight D2 and didn't like that. And that's obviously not as good as Bishop D2.
But the funny thing about this position is you have only a certain amount of legal moves. King E2 is clearly the worst, but Knight C3 is actually the second worst. Because you could play B4. You could play Queen D2, Knight D2.
B4 even?
Yeah, B4 takes and then Queen or Bishop to D2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I'm just saying, it's like anything you put in front there, basically you just want the position to be your turn again, because you know what you're gonna do next to the guy.
That's a good way of putting it.
And if
I
you
like
just
that.
want it to be your turn again, you just need to block this check. And knight c3, I thought you moved it back because you might have thought it was being attacked. Otherwise, it's like, why go back? Because you just went there.
Yeah, and obviously I wanted here to go d6. I don't know, dude. I kind of pussied out.
Yeah, because obviously
Like
bishop
in
d2 is
a
the
very
best,
real
but...
way. Yeah, bishop d2 is the best.
But even
Knight d2 is probably fine.
you know, like knight, even queen d2, just trade queens. He can take your queen, but the resulting position is you're still going where you want to go. c7 or d6, right? You're still crushing.
Right.
You don't even need your queen.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then it's easy when it rains, it pours, right? You go knight c3, and all of a sudden the vibes are all off. Knight c6, he shouldn't even be in this game anymore, and it's just done, it's done from there, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, is what it is.
Is what it is. Love the opening. I think that the opening you played, if you're getting that in a chess boxing game, Black's getting knocked out on and off the board probably.
Right.
Because that does not look fun to play. I would never accept a Mora as Black in a chess boxing match. Yeah.
So, you know, I don't even know if I'm going to play it. Like, there's a lot of different things I've kind of messed with against the Sicilian, so it's just one of them.
Well, yeah, you have so many options, but I think over here we appreciated the energy behind d4 c3, you know?
At least the start of it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that makes total sense. Is there anything you wanted to remark on for the first game?
Yes.
As well, or should I just get into
No, so the first game, that was...
How do I do that? Archive right here.
This game was the opposite. Like, I thought you were feeling it this game. I thought you were really in a zone. Like a good zone.
Although
I was pretty happy with this game overall.
Yeah. Just besides time, obviously.
Yeah, time is a different story because, you know, from the outside, I can only say so much about that. It's like, hey, move faster. Okay, great. You know. Yeah. Thanks, pal.
thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Thanks, coach. You know. First of all, probably worth noting, your knight g4 move in the opening, like pretty early on.
Yeah.
The reason that the engine won't like it very much is because of bishop b5 check. And strangely, you can't block the check because you'll lose the knight. And you can't play knight c6 because, well, you just drop a pawn there or maybe more. So the connection between the bishop on c8 and the knight on g4, it can't be broken by... It can be broken by a check. And so you can't have bishop b5 available. And often when you see this knight g4 move, it's actually in like a Najdorf type of way, and the move a6 is in the position.
It's like a6 already happened.
It's already happened because it's part of the opening, and that's why knight g4 in that opening hits the bishop, and it's like a very dangerous idea. But you're playing more like a dragon setup with g6, bishop g7, and it's not a thing to rush knight g4 before you've castled for that reason. Because you'll get checked, and you don't have a good way to block it.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen that when this happens, like then the best move is king f8.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess this is probably a little bit awkward because
I mean, you don't want to play king
f8. You don't want to play king f8. Yeah.
No.
I'm not even sure how to get that rook activated. I don't know if you have to go f6 or something.
Or just... And that f6 like makes your bishop just look like trash.
Looks like trash. So like swing the bishop out and then king g7 or something. I don't know.
Right, maybe bishop h6, but then whatever you're doing is not something you want to be doing ever again, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like that's how you'd solve it if you got there in a game, but you shouldn't be getting there.
Yeah. Got it.
So yeah, just like if you castle, then you're threatening knight g4. Think of it that way.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So just like castle first.
Yeah.
So anyway, but you got his dark square bishop, and that's like great. That's fantastic. Oh, we have chess.com gifted some subs in our chat over here.
Hey,
chess.com. There we go. Just using the great chess.com feature, game review.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, love
that.
Love me
paying for a diamond membership makes all the more powerful.
In fairness, we were talking about how players should improve at chess and become titled just to get the diamond membership. So we were hyping up chess.com unintentionally.
We were. Oh, intentionally.
Yeah, you got the dark square bishop, and I would say that you were like, I love the move that you played, castle, but I think you're just in a rush to castle. There's nothing
Mm.
about this position that tells me that I need to
Here.
castle before I do other things.
So like knight c6.
Knight c6, bishop d7, a6, even
Oh,
queen
the
c7.
move the move that I was considering, which maybe isn't good, but I kind of realized after I castled, or maybe it was on the next move, but I was like, maybe I should have gone queen b6 earlier. Obviously hitting
True.
hitting
True.
b2, and also like a little bit awkward if his knight ever moves. He's gonna have some really awful double d
For
pawns.
sure. Yeah. And it almost looks like he might have to play some really strange moves to deal with the threats in that position.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
queen b6
the
is a very
engine.
direct move. Like maybe he has to play queen d2 or something weird.
Yeah. Which at least just drops a pawn.
Well,
If I want
I'm
to,
preparing
I don't know if
bishop
you would
d5.
consider. Yeah. Yeah.
So queen b6, queen d2. I'm trying to bait you to take my pawn and lose your queen. On d4, bishop b5 check. But the point is, yeah, queen d2 sucks, and queen b6 is great. Like queen b6 is the place your queen should go regardless. But even after queen b6, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be in a rush to castle. Bishop d7, knight d7, knight f6 maybe. Whatever you're doing, no rush to castle. Castle's a great move, so it's not like a mistake. But I think intuitively for a human, it's like, why give the guy h4? Why even like deal with that noise when you could just get your pieces out and it'd be crazy for him to go h4 before your castle?
That makes sense.
So
that makes sense. I was shocked he went h4 in the first place because he played this c3 move, and I was like, he's not going to castle long. He's going to castle short.
And it's not a good move, right? So this isn't a situation where it's like you blundered and you played h4. No, it's like it's just a human thing. Like keep it simple for yourself. Like if you castle, you basically reveal your hand, what you're going to do, where your king's going to go. You have so many other useful moves to make, like all your pieces getting out. And if he castles kingside, then you castle kingside, and your life's so much easier.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I want to talk about your d5 move because he got that open h file. I was like, I don't care. There's no mate. Queen on h7, you're never gonna get mated, and it felt like you really knew that as the moves you were making were in line. And I love d5. D5 was like hero move. I thought when you played d5, this was a sick move. Really good, like counterplay that you're generating. You realize that his king's still in the middle, and you play knight e5 and bishop takes d5, and I just think it's already like overwhelming. Like you've solved the problem. You're not worried about getting mated. You're not panicking about the h file. You've got the bishop pair. It's open now, and it's like, yeah, this is like a model game. So you're probably only gonna miss move 23. That is the big blunder or missed opportunity from you.
Rook takes. Yep.
Yeah. That's just wait.
Rook takes, and there's just nothing. That's just a hanging piece. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. That's the big one. Hanging piece. But you played a good move. Like, you played knight c4, so it's not like you're missing stuff and you're like blundering mate. No, you're playing a good move, knight c4. And then for me, the other big blunder, and maybe the last one we'll talk about, is knight takes knight on the next move. You gotta take that with the queen.
Gotta take with the queen. Yeah, that is just better because I had the idea of going b4 at some point. I think I kind of got lost in the sauce, and I was kind of like, oh, open b file, that could be really annoying.
Yeah,
this pawn's really weak. Blah blah blah. Maybe one day this diagonal opens up. b2's that's gonna suck, but it never really materialized. And yeah, you saw how the game ended, where I was looking for something and it didn't exist.
It never materialized, as you said. But queen c4 hits the a pawn. It like pins the knight to the queen, so e5 is threatened, and the knight is also hanging because it's pinned to your king, like the c pawn is pinned to white.
Damn, I played like shit. It's all good. It's all good. Dude, yeah. But,
this game was good though. Overall, it was good. You missed like a big tactic with a hanging knight, and then I think this recapture could have been different. But the way you handled the open h file, you weren't scared. And you like came up with this d5 counterplay. I thought in general the game could have been faster, of course, but it was a high quality game. It was a high quality game. I'd rather you miss a free piece than hang a free piece. That's for sure. So if your blunders are just missing what your opponent is giving up, I think that's healthier than you just walking around hanging knights everywhere.
That's true. That's all true. Although, granted, that could easily happen at chess boxing. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
we won't know how to prepare for that until we
No.
actually start doing it. So.
No. But the
what
second
it
game
is.
was a mulligan. First game I thought was legitimately nice.
Second game, I mean, that was dude. I after the way I fucked up the opening, I mean, you could tell I had that fucking. I was just like, all right, fuck this shit.
Yeah, just
GG, go next.
Yeah, GG go next, exactly. Because that should have been a GG go next for him.
That was a shit game. You guys, please roast me for that one.
No, we definitely did, because ironically
good.
I literally said, I was like, there's so many legal moves in
the
this
guy
position.
was KO'd, yeah.
And like after the check, the queen check on a5, I was like, I think I just finished saying out loud, there's so many legal moves in this position, and the worst one is to bring the knight back, and he won't play it.
And you know what's funny is, I think part of the reason I played knight c3 was like, this is super ironic, because I was kind of like, well, at the end of the day, just put the knight back on c3. It can't be the worst move. Like, the position looks fine. I'm just, all right, fuck it. The knight belongs on c3 anyway. Maybe I overstepped my bounds. This queen's going to be a tempo, blah, blah, blah. Can't be the worst move, but it was.
yeah. It
normally, a move like that, like a conservative move like that, like normally it's not going to fuck you over.
Yeah, that's safe. That's supposed to be safe.
Normally, it's supposed to be safe. Yeah, I mean, obviously everything's situational, but that is funny.
Yeah.
That is funny that it's literally the worst move. Okay, well, good to know.
You're 0-2,
anyway,
buddy. Hit us with a dub.
I'm 0-2. Let's get some dubs. Okay,
hit us with
I'm getting back in there. I'm getting back in there. All right. I'm muting up.
Yep. Good luck.
All right. That's pretty funny.
All right. Get a couple more games from the lad here. Here we go. Thanks, JT Foxy, for the 6-month resub tier 3. JT Foxy, I think, just got out of his ban. I think that was a marbles ban as well. Shout out JT. Yukimiv1, thanks for the 9 months with Prime Vasa Styles, 19 months. Welcome back. Thanks again to chess.com for the 15 gifted subs. Hello to Red Drum. Nick Colehall, 11 months with Prime. Literate Muffin, 11 months with Prime. Mordekaiser, 22 months. Bob Donut, 8 months with Prime. Appreciate you guys. All right. This is great. I'm glad to see Toph dealing with some aggressive opponents. Because you check that eval bar, you know, this is a position where black is better, and you know it, but the compensation is still very real. He's spending some time here. I think knight d7 and knight f6 is logical for sure. h6 defends the h-pawn, and it does, to its credit, it does cover g5, so it is kind of useful. That's a really strange move. Don't love giving up the late square bishop, but I respect that he sees a position where he knows he's up material, and he's like, yeah, we should trade. What are you watching? Well, I have a chess boxing event coming up in December. Ludwig's hosting it. And you guys know I'll be doing chess boxing. Well, this guy's also doing chess boxing. Toph, our buddy. So we're doing a little, I guess, prep session here, but we're also just chatting boxing, chatting chess. He's 1800 Blitz, solid players. I feel like a lot of people in chat could learn a thing or two from watching these level games. We're like gonna go over them and talk about them as well. This is a really strong move, by the way. Knight b4, like This should probably win him the game, objectively. Rook A3. Wow. Like, what is this? What kind of chess are we seeing? The guy's playing H4, A4 and developed both of his rooks like a child. You ever seen that? The kids, they play like pawn here, and then bring their rooks to the middle. This is beginner stuff. I would love to see this move. King B8. It's just one of those, it's the feel-good move of the year. King B8. Okay, that's a really bad move. I don't think the guy saw this. Toph should be trading that immediately and then playing like pawn here. Yep. He's just dominating now. Probably gonna play F5, F4. Yeah. White has been playing this game very suspiciously, like not very reliably, so he might even just allow F4 to happen, but Toph's got a great position here. Okay, be very careful, don't play H5 for whatever reason. Oof, another suspicious move. Toph's time is, I mean, it's low here, but still 2 minutes to close out this game should be enough. So while this is very solid, guys, it's also pawns on dark squares. Dark square bishops, suspicious. Suspicious. I don't think it's great for black to have this. I would much rather have my pawns on light squares. Ooh, so I talked about this. I don't know. I think white can get some stuff going here. Yeah, this is counterplay. I would maybe consider d5 here. It's gonna take. Rook d8 is a serious contender. I think there's big counterplay for white here, guys. This game is not over. I think he still needs to be fairly accurate. Probably got to take that. Wait a minute. We should take here now and then just take. Question that I'm wondering is he going to see this move? If he does, I think it's over. But this is a great move as well. Yeah, this should be over. Yeah, he plays rook here. Now you can even take this. It was actually trickier to take this. So if white took there, then you do these checks and you take the knight. I don't like these checks for no reason because they seem to help the king just go where it wants to go and attack his pawns. Good stuff. White is gonna play knight c4, so get ready for it. Get ready for it. Maybe a tricky move, f4. And then rook there. I love this, though. Toph has been pretty much handling this guy. But you can definitely see how this game goes south right now. Because this is a terrible move. So you gotta go here, and you could just see things are not exactly simple. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the checks I see Toph do, they're just checks to check. And I start to get a little concerned when I see checks to check. You know, because I'm worried about this now. There's rook f6. Let's take, and let's play this move, Toph. You got him, buddy. Not this. No, you gotta trap that knight, make it go to the corner. Now the knight's gonna escape, and anyone can win this game. Anyone can win this game. He's still in good shape here. But with 15 seconds, I don't know who you guys think the favorite is. Because Toph still has to take this pawn. Not so easy to do. Get over there. Yeah. Get ready to take. This is a tricky move. He might do it, honestly. Toph won't lose the game, though. However, I do think it'll be a draw. 12.5 seconds-ish. It's not a ton of time. Although knight c6 is horrible. It's really not the move. Good stuff. He's got some speed here. But I think the knight is so tricky to deal with. Like, it's the most tricky piece that black could have on the board right now. Here, and I would take that knight. Very good stuff. Does he have it in him with 4.5 seconds? I think this should be a win. Let's see what kind of energy he's got with the queen and the king. I might have to give him my queen and king pre-move lecture. Because I have a feeling he's not going to complete this. Damn. Damn. That's okay. I'm going to let him know. I'm going to let him in on the tricks to the trade when we look at that game. 4.5 seconds. Gotta be a win. Gotta be a win. Too slow. He played really well, though. Toph is getting flagged. You know, he's clapping these kids. Yeah, I'll show you when I show him, Mohamedov. I could bust it out. Yeah, like, Toph, in my opinion, Toph's a very strong player. Do you see most of the games, most of the openings that he's getting? Isn't he just crushing out of the openings? His opponents are playing some really suspicious stuff. He's like +4 in a lot of his openings, no matter if he's white or black. That's right, Divitox. Bad chess, good vibes. Are you aware of the goated Hambleton King and Queen pre-move guarantee? It takes practice, but I think everyone with 5 seconds on the clock and a queen and king should be able to checkmate. I do. I know that's asking a lot of maybe some 1100s, 1000s, but as long as you can move a mouse, I think it's achievable. You guys see why castle is so strong, right? See, basically, if you castle and knight goes there, bishop d3 forks. By going here first, obviously you're kind of helping out. Because now g2, now it's hanging. Thanks, Woo Team 90 for the 5 months. Go team. I think this is a reasonable move. So if takes here, rook there, queen h3, I think what he wants to do is like bishop f4 and then get castle. So I think this could work out really well for Toph, actually. I think we can catch dubs here. You know what's the problem? His time. It's like I'm watching myself. This is working out really well. I think he can just like long castle here as well. This is fine. Good stuff. Engine probably wanted some sort of checkmate, but I think castling is more reasonable. Makes sense. Maybe rook g3, knight e5. I don't think I want to allow queen trade. Also, queen d4 or queen e3. So yeah, queen c4 is basically like, look at the positions Toph is getting. His opponent has a queen out and a bishop. That's it, and they've long castled. Like, this game should be over. He's got to be KOing here. Take that. Take that. I mean, you can take anything. This probably runs into bishop d6. Like, knight there, okay. But pawn takes, open as much as possible. Even queen takes a7, to be quite honest. Looks really good. But I'd love to see Toph finishing off these games, because I feel like he's a very strong player that can get a very good position. And in a blitz game, I feel like he's very susceptible to tricks. Or he lacks confidence or something, because he's got some overwhelming advantages that are not being converted. Guys, this move by the opponent, you see how tricky this is? Right? He wants to do this to go here. Now, Toph has move knight g5. I can't tell if he sees it, because I feel like if he sees it, he played immediately. He does, and it should be done now. Like, look at the games we're playing against. Dude, that guy's hanging his queen 50 times here. What is the move f6? Toph is up a rook and just crushing here. Just crushing. Hey, Super Sci-Fi, thanks for the 8 months. This is a great game. We gotta finish this off, though. This is what I mean. Guys, we're up a rook, and we're spending how long on this move? Does it even say? Oh, it'll tell me once he moves. But it's for sure like 24 seconds. 24 seconds when you're up a rook. No, just make a move. Anything. Attack a bishop, push a pawn. Can't be taking 24 seconds. Not acceptable. Let's get those moves faster. Okay, that move is playable, yeah. Okay, he's getting the bishop back. He gave up that pawn, but I think it's okay. As long as he keeps the speed up, I don't mind it. He saved his piece, so he's now up a clean rook. Great move. Fantastic move. He needs to trade. Yeah, not that, because of knight e2. Very good move. I think he's got it now, guys. Because if rook e7, he can play this move, and that should be the end of the game. Also fine. There we go. There we go. There we go.
All right, I'm back. So, in my defense, both of those were openings I've never encountered. Literally ever.
You've never encountered the Scandinavian?
I've never encountered the Scandinavian where their queen ends up on g6 like that. And I was like, okay, can I give them... And my idea was like, fucking take on g2. Like, fucking try me. Because I was going to castle queenside anyway.
Love it.
I mean, I've seen lots of poison pawns on b2. This was the first time I was like, poison pawn on g2? Is that a thing? I don't fucking know. So I'm curious what you thought about. I will say the common theme probably everyone's yelling at me about repeatedly is, yeah, I'm going way down on time.
Yes, this is true.
Way down. So,
of course, this is true.
Yeah,
I'm concerned about it, but not overly. I did just want to see like some other parts of your game here mainly. However, it's concerning in a chess boxing format, because I think being down on time is gonna just be amplified. Like, you want to get to a point where you're so comfortable that you know you don't need to find the best move every time. You just need to find a move.
Yeah. It's not, I will say it's not naturally my style. It's not, especially because lately, before the chess boxing thing got announced, I was trying to play a lot more slower and more tactically. Because I used to play like that. I used to play, even around Tulum time, I would play very just fast. And not necessarily very tactically. And then I kind of intentionally for a while was switching gears. But yeah, I got to dial it back for sure. And like even that first game.
So let's look at the first game against Fast True 09.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
I love that he played H4 because I was like, okay, perfect. Almost every game, by the way, you've just been dominating out of the opening. You really have. Like these dudes are playing mad suspicious stuff against you.
True. Yeah, these games have been weird out of the opening for sure.
They're all like sacking hard.
I saw it, but I was like, I was like, do I fucking take it? Is he gonna sack the exchange like before I've even castled? Is that a thing?
It's a thing. Like it's bad, but it's a thing. Yeah, I think it's been happening enough. It's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a thing. It's not the thing.
Yeah, it's the thing worthy, but
all right.
It's not serious, and you handled it really well.
Okay.
So I thought this game was really one-sided, and I love how you were looking for trades at every junction, and you were trying to castle queenside, looking for queen trades. I think though that if you look at like move 20, for example, you had this idea. 20. You played f5, white played king f1.
Move 20. Yeah.
So white plays king f1, and it was like right here where, honestly, like black is overwhelming, has an overwhelming position. But I think your next maybe 5 to 7 moves were a little like just aimless, kind of here, a little bit there. And I think this is the exact moment where it's like, yeah, you've done the legwork, you're crushing the guy. You've got 2 minutes on your clock. So that's a lot of time overall for like a conversion. You're way lower than him, but you've got 2 minutes. And it was right here where it's like, you know, you double the rooks, a5, b6, h5, rook e6, and like all these moves, I wasn't getting a strong feeling that you were playing with conviction.
Well, that's because you were right about it. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So if you did get that feeling, that's for a good reason.
Yeah, because I think you want to be like, you know, around move king f1 for white. You want to be looking for a very direct entry point, because doubling your rooks is one thing, but how useful are your doubled rooks on a closed file? Like you're going nowhere. So you need an entry point. So where's your entry?
Would you have shuffled your rooks to the G file maybe?
So that's a good way to do it. And if you double your rooks, instead of rook e7, you can try rook e6 so that you can at least switch to the G file, rook g6. Like that's just a more flexible square. So that's
and it's more flexible because I don't drop my h6 pawn if I ever have to move that bishop. Okay.
Exactly. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is if you don't want to use the G file and you want to use the E file, rook e4
immediately,
is also,
right?
Yeah, an immediate move you can try. Not only can you go rook h4, maybe target that pawn, but I believe you're just threatening f4.
Right.
And I think your goal is like kick that bishop off so that you can eventually use the E file.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense.
And
f5 was to that, like, I think when I played f5, it was kind of with this idea, but once I went f5 and then I realized, wait, actually that was premature.
I didn't mind it.
Kind of busted my load a little early there.
Yeah. Like I see, you wanted to get in with the tactic, right? F5, F4.
I want to get in with the tactic, yeah, or like find a way, not even maybe a tactic, maybe just I wanted to kick the bishop from E3 or put pressure on the bishop on E3 somehow. And then I spent some moves trying to figure out how to make that happen. Like I think I played rook e7, and I think a couple moves later I ended up playing fucking rook e6 anyway. Right? Yeah, exactly. I played rook e6 on move with the same idea. I was like, oh, I want to bring my bishop over to h6 and maybe then go f4, but it was very slow.
But you stumbled upon a good plan eventually, which was like the bishop on e3 was blocking everything you wanted to do. Finally, you were like, oh, bishop h6, let me trade that thing. As soon as you traded it, you're crushing. And you dominate. Now, I can't talk about every single move, but from move
Yeah,
31 to like up to the point where you were rook against knight. So just the general end game when he had a rook and knight and you had 2 rooks, I felt like there was a theme of you checking just to check.
Yeah.
You'd give a check to him, but there'd be no purpose to the check, and it's the worst kind of check to give. Right now, on move 31, White's king is arguably in the worst spot for an endgame. It's on the edge of the board, like furthest from the action. Every check you gave is like, hey, take a step closer. Hey, come attack my pawns.
Active.
Hey, come all the way down the board. You're not getting any closer to mating the guy. You're not just going to mate him in the middle of the chessboard. That's not how it works. So you're actually just helping him with every single check.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I will fully admit that these checks were actually just to buy time. Like, it was like, oh fuck, I've got 40 seconds. Well, if I check him, I can keep thinking while his timer goes down instead of mine. That's all it was. So you're 100% correct.
And a totally fair point, except the problem is it's so brain dead to move your king, and it takes time to like give the right check. So you think that you're saving time, but he's actually like I mean, the guy is just gonna send any king move. The guy probably doesn't have too many legal ones. So he's moving within like 2 seconds. And if you want to do the comparison, you know, you're at 58 seconds. You give him a check, it took you 3 seconds. He made a move, 2 seconds. You gave him another check, 3 seconds. He made a move, 1 second. Your next move, 7 seconds, right?
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
So you're not gaining time, and especially because you're the guy with less time, you don't want to be trading, you don't even want to be trading 3 seconds of your time for 10 seconds of his necessarily. Because he's got time banked. You want to be using your time efficiently to eventually trade pieces or checkmate. So every check is just a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really good point.
And the last part, if we fast forward, hey, things weren't always perfect, but you actually did a great job eventually coming together and trading rooks, which was like that you needed. You needed to trade his damn rook. King C7 on move 42. Have to mention that.
Yeah, this is just okay because knight d7.
D7 gets covered, and essentially he gets cornered.
Right. Because his knight is actually fucking trapped if I go king c7.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's a small thing. But you were low on time, so I'm not really bringing that up too much. And then, hey, you got the endgame you wanted. I know chess boxing is not online, so I won't go too lecture-y on this one, but I wanted to mention...
Yeah, I actually do want to hear this from you. Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted to mention the moment after you queened. So you queen, it's move, what, 60?
Yep, move 60.
So it's move 60. You've got 4.5 seconds. And to me, and I've actually like shown this pattern in I think it's one of my building habits videos, but I showed this pattern of what I consider to be like essentially a guaranteed mating pattern or net, and you should be able to do it with all pre-moves. And so
I really need to hear this then, because I didn't see this, and that sounds hella useful.
I think it's very useful. Obviously, the point is like you need to be able to pre-move first of all, and if you're 900, I don't care. You can still do this. As long as you can like use a mouse, this should be effective. And I don't really know how to like share this, so like I guess you'd have to just like watch my stream for a sec or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can. I mean, it's just gonna be a little bit delayed.
Yeah, or I can share my screen
or
to
you can
in Discord.
That for sure works. And also we could just do a fucking analysis board, right? Which is like a sync or whatever. Can you make moves or no?
Yeah, for sure.
Or do we got to go to a different one?
No, I think they moved the analysis boards actually off the play server, so I should be able to.
Okay, just link me, which in theory should work. I actually.
Is it a link?
Oh, I don't know. I'm actually not sure. Screen share is fine. Discord screen share is fine too. It's just then I have to drag stuff around.
Yeah, but this analysis thing is. I feel like this is supposed to be easy. Are you on live chess, by the way, or are you on play?
Live.
Okay, if you're on live, then I can jump on live and do this pretty easy.
Okay. I think I'm on live because it says analysis/game/live. Yeah, everything says /live.
Did you get an invite?
No. Wait, did I? Let's see. Live chess.
I can try to set it again. It's like an invite to analysis board.
Yeah, I'd see it in like the bottom right? Okay, hang on. Oh, got it. Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
So
Done.
yeah, now it'll work for sure. And I'm just gonna grab, just for argument's sake, the exact position that you had. King on b3, queen on a1. Or actually, this is backwards. Queen on a1, king on b3, and king on e4. So yeah, it was like this, and it's king d5, so it was white to move. Yeah, okay, so here we go. So, yeah, so this is analysis where you see it on your end?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, you have 4.5 seconds here. I can't replicate that in analysis, so you just have to obviously assume that everything I'm saying is you pre-move it, and
remove it.
Obviously, I could say, oh yeah, just play queen here and king here and then queen here, like perfect moves. But obviously, it makes no sense because you can't pre-move random moves like that. Your queen might get taken. So what I'm talking about is a way that your queen will never be hanging. It can't be hanging.
Okay.
And that's the only way, truly, that you can pre-move something to victory. So So like my first move here without thought, and I think it was white's move, so he went king d5, but it wouldn't matter. As black, my first move would be this. Because I want my queen and king to touch each other. I said it. The entire endgame. The entire endgame. That queen and that king, boy, they're horny, I'm telling you. Queen c3.
So queen c3.
And then my next move after queen c3 for sure is going to be queen here. And these are like regardless. So you know, it doesn't really matter. I can use the moves that were played in the game, but like eventually they'll become illegal. The point is, like, I would play here. Maybe he goes here. I would play here. And my next move after doing this, and again, this is regardless of what he does, is going to be here. And my next move, regardless of what they do, is going to be here. So let's say they go here, I go here, they go here, I go here. Now, you sort of have to basically pick one here, but it wouldn't really matter. Let's say my next move is here, and I'm going to do it regardless.
So they're just going for a little walk.
Right. So they're doing whatever. I'm doing this, and my next move is here, regardless. So let's say they go here, and what seems to be an annoying move because they get to like run away. Because you can imagine that if white goes down and this goes like that, that I'm kind of getting the box. Easy. And so you might be like, oh, that's too easy. So okay, let's say they go here. My point is, this is my next move, and what have I done the entire time after this? Well, my next move is here, and it's going to be regardless. So let's say he goes here, my next move is here. As soon as I get something like this, my next move is probably going to be here. Or here, like somewhere to shrink. And I've been using the same, like my king just kind of walks around my queen. Queen goes first, king goes after. So after this, you know, white's going to do something, whatever. I might go here, and then I might go here, whatever. So all these are pre-moves. Like I'm just walking my queen around. King is going to go somewhere, right? And my queen is probably going to go up. So let's say he goes here, right? And then my queen goes like that. And let's say he goes up. My next king move is going to be here, right? Regardless. And at this point, we get lucky. The king has to go the edge. If you want, you can kind of hover, not pre-move around this point, and then take him to the side. I don't like to do that. I like to do it all pre-move. So from here, my next move is this. Every time. So, he does something. I go here, and then he actually starts to run away. Well, it doesn't matter. My next move is here and here regardless. So it's going to be here regardless. Okay, the king's got to move. My next move is here, followed by some king move. Next move is here. And the golden square that you want your queen is, like, right here.
One of those. Okay.
You want your queen there, and it's because once you get your queen here, first of all, you immediately do a pre-move because you want it all pre-move. So your next move after you check is going to be a pre-move. So it's going to be your king somewhere there.
Yeah.
And basically you'll notice that white only has two options.
Yeah.
Here or here. Now you don't know which one they're going to pick. if you'd like to, you could wait, see which one they pick. If they go here, that's the move. And then it's 1 and 2 moves for mate. But the point is, you don't know which one they're going to do. So in order to guarantee that you can do it by pre-moves, I like to pre-move something. So let's say they go here. I've pre-moved this, but I see they've gone here. So now I know 100% their next move is here. So now I can pre-move this. And my pre-moves now are 1, 2, and mate.
Holy
and it'll work every time. So when your queen gets to one of these like magical squares, the king's only going to have 2 squares to go to. I kill 1 pre-move just in anticipation. And then what happens after that is they only have the other square to move to. So if you're quick with it, and obviously you get better as you practice it, but you'll see where they move to and you'll know where the only other square is. Then you pre-move your queen. It'll be to one of these squares.
Yep.
And then you put your king on the same magic square that the queen was just on. And then you deliver mate always in these. Like the king will be somewhere where it's forced mate, no matter what.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. I think there was one moment I wanted to ask about, which was, I'm gonna go back to, so like let's say here, I think the move, so queen e4 here, and okay, so there's never a danger. I think I try to do like I try to do the thing where I keep my king and queen together and do pre-moves.
There might be like one in like 10 times where like he seems to like go the other way, but don't stress about it and just keep pre-moving your king and queen together, and you'll always box him in somewhere. But yeah,
got it.
I think I know what you were trying to get at, but you just mean like he seems to escape or something?
He seems to escape. Yeah. That's the thing that I struggle with is like these parts. Not this move in particular, but like let's say I go here and then after this move, king g4, I guess. But yeah, you should always have. I run into problems where I try to pre-move the king and I put it on a square that their king ends up covering. So I guess I'm doing it a little bit wrong.
Yeah. So you're saying like,
with this method,
it should be impossible because basically if your queen is here and I move here, right? There's no legal way that I can't play that move next.
Oh, so you are only pre-moving the king, really,
after
to squares the queen was just on.
It's the most effective that way. It's the most effective that way. It doesn't always work out, and sometimes you can use your intuition, like, oh, I see the guy's going this direction, I'll go that direction. But if my queen occupies a square, it's impossible in chess for my king not to be able to occupy it next. Basically, like especially in this endgame. Yeah,
makes total sense. The queen's going to be covering it.
Yeah, the queen covers it. It moves out of the way, really cool. And then I can go there.
Okay. Yeah, obviously this won't come up in chess boxing, but this is something that I've been thinking about recently. Like I got into just the other day, I was like king and queen versus king, and I had 3 or 4 seconds, and I was like, I can do this if I have even like 8 or 9 probably
for sure because then you almost can use like a basic technique, like you can use a normal technique for sure. React, exactly. Hover, essentially you like hover the move that you want to do, and you just like, you know, basically you would take this and just make it smaller, so like they would go
that's sick.
Black's turn. So yeah, like you go here and you know, like you just chase them, but you can only do this if you have like 10 seconds maybe. And then you bring your king. So the other one is for when I have like, you know, even 2 seconds, for example, you should be able to pretty much execute 2.5 is, you can often execute what I'm talking about, because it's like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you know, and then maybe like a stutter step and like 13, 14, 15. So like you can do it pretty quickly, and you might get unlucky. You're not going to win every single game, but you should probably win a lot of them. And even a low-rated player can execute this, because it's actually nothing about, oh, I'm a 2600, I can do it. It's like, no, it's raw mouse speed and pattern, like knowing the pattern.
Yeah, this is where internet generation chess players are gonna, like, probably a lot of super GMs who just don't play online and don't care about pre-moves. Would never have even thought of this.
yeah, right, exactly.
Right, like Kramnik's not gonna do this. Speaking of Kramnik, okay.
So
that's it. No, this is super helpful. Obviously not for chess boxing, but this is gonna come up for sure. So
yeah, exactly. I think my chat. What is this, Rebecca? Is this My chat's linking what could be like a way to practice it. I'm not sure if you could do timed
cool.
here.
Yeah.
Maybe I know they time you in general, but I don't think you have like a clock that expires. I think they time you up, like how long it takes you. So
Good
you
enough.
could kind of try that. So I'm just gonna put it in our Discord call. If you want,
Yeah, that's like
if you want to try it right now, it's like really
I
quick
might.
to
Yeah,
just
let me
fire
try
it
it.
up.
Let me try it. Oh, yeah, it makes sense because they tell you how long it. Okay, quickly improve your ending skills.
So I think the point of this
Okay.
one is they have like multiple positions. Like
Yeah.
they have queen against king. You'll see the next ones they have like queen and pawns on the board. So position number 1 is the only one that I think you really need to do.
Right.
So I think if you go to
Right.
practice and you go to position 1, you can do it. It won't be timed, but you can then do it. So
Oh shit. Yeah.
it's hard to do pre-moves like properly, but the engine you will be able to do pre-moves with the engine. So I see you doing it there.
Right.
So it should work.
Shit. Yeah, yeah. Fuck. Okay, I'm already like fucking it up, obviously.
So try to start like back to the start and try for argument's sake to put your put your queen in front of your king, and then wherever you move your king is where your queen just was. Like try that. So move your queen.
Right.
Your queen goes first to some square, and then your king goes after.
And then it's like, right, and then it's like, oh, not that. Fuck. But then it would be, oh, queen. Then, yeah. Here would be queen b5, and then king here. Yeah. Okay.
So I've just got you on the stream delay, but I am watching.
Yeah. So like here, and then here it's like that, right? Okay. Yeah.
And once
That
you've got
makes
the
sense.
queen on that important square, like c6, f6, c3, f3, then you can actually pre-move your king, quote unquote, infinitely, because at that point you've got them shuffling with between two squares. So all you need to do is just time it properly that you like cut the king, like cut him properly.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah. Yeah, that makes hella sense.
So it's something you can just like grind practice wise here with the engine.
Right.
You know, and you start to get the idea that even, and like that one that I just watched was pretty damn quick.
Yeah. Like even in a real game, even if you don't pre-move every move.
No, it doesn't have to be pre-move every
seconds.
Move. Exactly.
Probably fine. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's hella helpful. Whoops. Fuck. Yeah, so right there I felt like I let it out, but really I was fine.
And the thing is, like, even if you let him out, you can just keep going back to the strat of queen and king together. So it's like they might escape, but if you have 4.5 seconds, you can fuck it up and still bring it back and do it properly, and you'll still mate them in time.
Right. Yeah, this is hella cool. I'm gonna grind this off stream later for sure.
Yeah, it's a simple thing, but like the amount of checkmates that you do in Blitz and Bullet that happen with queen and king, it's like so high.
So high.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Like it's so worth it. You invest, even if you were like just a nobody for 24 hours, the amount of chess you're gonna play in your career, if you just practice this for 24 hours like a complete degenerate, it would probably be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is sick. I'm definitely literally just gonna do that.
So there you go. It's not for chess boxing, obviously, but I've mentioned this before to people that watch. Hey, see grilled peppers, saying bye to a buddy who was staying with us for a couple days here.
Oh fuck yeah!
Let's go. But yeah, I think it's like a good tool to know, and it is for online, obviously, though.
Right. Okay. Fucking that's super helpful. Should we look at that other game?
Yeah.
All right.
This was you with the white pieces, I think. Against,
this was the Scandinavian.
Exactly, against Azart.
Let me pull that up. Azart from, is that Azerbaijan?
Correct.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Correct.
You get good at country flags playing on chess.com.
You get good on, like, based on chess.com. I think any chess player becomes good because you're kind of like looking up your opponent studying their games, and it always comes up like, where are they from? You know, and it's like if I'm playing a player from India versus from Canada, I'm probably gonna have a different expectation for what kind of theory I'm gonna see. Canadians are, let me tell you, bud, not known for their theory.
Gotcha. I love, dude. I love when Canada just catches flack on the chessbrah.
Oh yeah, just absolute tourists.
Yeah, they need well, it's okay. They need that tough love.
Yeah, for sure, because it's not going to develop overnight. I'll tell you that.
Right. Okay.
Scandi,
so
you said you basically had never seen like the check and the queen g6, right?
Queen g6 was, when I say specifically I haven't seen this opening, I was, kind of referring to queen g6. And obviously he had this weird idea with the c3 that maybe I should have stopped. Like, what did I do? I went bishop d3. Maybe this d5
Yeah, so one thing you have to remember is like, when people do stuff like this, queen e6, queen g6, first of all, you can just go, you can just come out and say, this must be shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell yourself that because it might help you when you're dealing with it. You can't see this and be like, oh, this is dangerous, right? Because it's bad for a reason. He's moved his queen like 8 times. Yes, he's made an attack on your pawn, but I love the like total confidence in saying knight f3, go for it, take me. So that was good. He goes bishop d7, you go d4. He goes knight c6. Sure, I'll even take d5. He goes knight b4. You have a very strong move here. It's more tactical in nature, but you could castle. Right, and if he takes with the knight, then you hit him with bishop d3 and he'll lose.
Right.
But you know, he can take on c2 with his queen in that position. And then you just have to have that, like, you just kind of that savviness that, maybe I could play queen d4 there. Hit his knight, not trade queens with the guy who's like desperate to do so. You know, you just want a pawn. But like you'll roll over an opponent in a position after queen d4, for example.
Yeah. Yes.
You will just...
That makes total sense.
They have nothing developed. So there's that. But what I will say is after knight c6, maybe you could get castled. And then you're just not dealing with
CS. Here. Right.
That is an option.
Yeah. What was I? Was I worried about fucking bishop h3?
Probably.
Is that why
I think it's a thing to be worried about. Generally, you would play knight h4, and you should be pretty happy here because, you're dealing with mate, and the most common way in chess, it's sort of like there's a very common way to attack and a very common way to defend. The most common way to attack often has the most common way to defend. Bishop h3, when pinned from a queen, by the way, the queen will always be sitting on g6 pretty much, or g3 is just the most common square. It's a really known pattern, and the way that it gets defended is almost always knight h4 or knight h5, because it always hits the queen and it always defends mate. And your queen is not always going to be able to stay on that g file, and then maybe you could take the bishop next, or go from there.
Yep, makes sense.
So knight h4 would be how to deal with that, but knight b4, bishop d3, he takes, and I feel like there he's kind of getting what he wants.
Yeah.
That's like, W for him.
You definitely, and you could see I spent a ton of time on this because I was like, I know this is shit, but I might have fucked up already, which I guess I haven't. Really, I haven't.
No, you haven't.
This is fine. But I was like, is this some weird opening trap? And I've been getting spanked all stream. I've been playing like dogs all stream. So and now I'm like, oh, fuck me. I got another opening I've never seen before. What the fuck is this shit? And I'm like, man, fuck this. I'll take some shitty middle game where the guy gets done my D pawns and get everything he wants. I'm
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That makes total sense.
Because this game, even after knight takes d3, he took your pawn.
Yeah.
You played bishop f4. I thought you rocked him from here on out. Bishop f4 was great. Long castle, great. He played bishop f5, queen e3, great. Like, all these moves are like just top. Like, for sure, great moves. You've got every piece developed. He's literally got one bishop and a random queen. Like, you're crushing the guy.
Right.
He goes e5. Lots of moves, but you take with the bishop. Good move. Fine. Yeah. He goes g6, and he's, he's kind of messing around. Like, he thought he caught you with a move, and just total no.
Yeah, I looked at it for a little while. I considered like rook g3, which is probably fine too. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, rook g3, literally in any position, will be a great move.
Right.
No matter what. Yeah, for sure rook g3 is nice because then your knight actually gets defended on f3 and then your queen's free to move to like a7 for example.
Right.
So rook
right.
g3 at any point to just free up your queen would be great.
Yeah. That was a move that I'd been wanting to play for a couple moves, and then he just, hung his rook, and I guess he was relying on this bishop h6 tactic
exactly.
that really obviously doesn't work. Yeah. I mean, not hard to see that even
even rook g5 or something.
Even rook g5 is not losing.
Right.
Even rook g5, but
so yeah, he was just down and out. But this is the thing, like his opening it went as well as it could have because you played bishop d3 earlier, and it still got absolutely roasted. Like he didn't have any chance in this game really, and it went as well as it could have.
Makes sense. Yeah, and I mean, I was like looking for. I mean, this position even after the queen got to e3, I was like, at some point, just rook g3 and queen a7 looks really uncomfortable.
Yep. And he just happened to hang.
What the fuck is going to happen up here? Exactly. I was already thinking about that. Then he hung a rook, and I was like,
I guess I gotta go for that.
I guess fuck all that, and I take the rook. Yeah.
Because your position is so good that it's a competitive decision whether or not you take his free extra rook or play rook g3 and queen takes a7. Literally.
Right. Yeah, so that sucks. Or I guess the edge is just saying I could just play queen a7 here.
Yeah, and that's how bad his fucking position is. Like,
Jesus.
You could not take a rook, not defend your piece, and take a pawn.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was straight. And I mean, I guess the thing for me is like, there are times when you see these kind of offbeat setups, if you want to call it a setup, with like the queen g6 and then hunting the c2 tactic. And there's times when you see this and they have a clear like, aha, this is a weird opening trap that you don't know about that is really popular on Azerbaijan YouTube. And then there's other times when it's just dog shit. And I guess it's sometimes kind of hard to know if it's a blitz game.
Yeah.
But
I think if you stick to the principles, then you'll always react to everything well.
Yeah.
But for sure, like anytime you see an opening that's based off of multiple queen moves before any other piece moves and like no other pawns, you know for a fact that it's bad. Like it's just trash.
Okay, that makes sense.
Put that one in the trash category. But I agree, it's tough to tell sometimes.
I do gotta I will say in general, I've been having a tough time in the Scandinavian. I feel like I saw it a lot at like when I was like 1200, 1300, I saw it a lot, and then I kind of stopped seeing it for a while. And I think at that rating level, it was a lot of the kind of the cheapo bishop g4 stuff.
Right.
And now I'm running into it where they're playing bishop f5 and they're playing like the more proper actual Scandinavian, and I've actually started having problems with it again. So I do need to go back and kind of brush up, but
for sure, like it's an opening that it's always tough to give advice or coach on because there's so many good options. Like you can play it so many different ways. You can just develop your knights, develop pieces so naturally, and like you're gonna be fine.
Makes sense.
Whereas other openings like the Najdorf, it's like, okay, wait, we actually might have to play this specific line or this specific way. But against the Scandi, if you just get pieces out, you're already okay.
Makes sense. Yeah. And that's kind of, and Black's just looking for a solid game usually.
For sure.
Not this guy, but
not this guy. Oh, yo, what's up? What's up, Benjamin Bach? Read from Bach in the chat here. Yeah, Mr. Bach. Indeed.
What's up, Mr. Bach?
Yeah, boxing stream when? I don't know when the boxing stream will happen, but for sure December there'll be what is it? It's on YouTube, right? Like I guess it'll be
it'll probably be on Ludwig's channel
on YouTube,
which will be December 11th. But
yep,
we're gonna try to get some actual boxing content in there.
Yeah,
I'm working on getting my IRL streaming set up, and I definitely want to do at least some boxing stuff before the event. So
IRL, like streaming it is very
IRL
cool.
style.
I don't know if it's been your experience, but I feel like boxing is something that you can be such an armchair general about. Like you can sit back, like watching the stream or like watching a video of, let's say, you boxing or me or whatever, and be like, oh, hips didn't turn. Like, it's like, shut the fuck up, you fucking 130-pound Cheeto dust warrior. It's so easy to like make like pick and choose, but it's difficult and there's so much like technique that goes into it, and like you definitely don't know shit.
Yeah. The first time you spar, like everything you know goes out the window, because like that's when you just learn about, well, this is just what I do when someone's trying to punch me in the face. Like this is just how and then you like in the back of your head like what you should be doing, but it's so much harder to execute on.
For sure.
And then I think you just have to build those instincts.
Yep.
Those instincts.
And there might be like a few people. Who are you boxing? Like, who are you against for the December
for me, it's
Sardosh.
Sardosh. Yeah, Sardosh, who won one of the PogChamps events. And you know, I mean, I've kind of, he's done some workout streams and stuff. I mean, I think his cardio is actually pretty good, which I think matters a shitload.
It does, yeah.
Like that actually, oh yeah, that's the other thing I will say. If you haven't sparred yet, just as a little side note, the first thing to be ready for is like, man, that shit is super tiring. It's tiring in like a different way.
Right.
Because you would think like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm moving around, I'm in a ring for it's really only like a 3-minute round or whatever, however many minutes you're going to spar for. And then you do a couple of those. But like the thing about it is you're not going to be moving at the rhythm. Like when you're doing normal cardio, like you have a breathing rhythm and everything is like structured, and it's not going to be like that. And worst of all, you know, when you inevitably get a little bit tired, you know, the guy's going to try to punch you in the face that you can't take a breather.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Take a moment to be like,
you can't take a break.
Yeah.
No, that's a great point.
It's tiring in a super different way. So be ready for that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that's the thing about boxing is it's like, you know, when you're training, they're like, yeah, keep your damn hands up. And you're like, oh man, like it's so exhausting. But then when you're sparring, you realize that if your hands aren't up, you're going to get like socked in the fucking mouth. Like,
yeah.
And then those hands get up real quick.
That's how they remind you. Yeah. They don't tell you. That shit sucks. But you know, it is what it is. And I will say, it was pretty funny. Like the first time I got punched in the mouth, I was actually kind of like I actually kind of like smiled. I was like, okay, got it out of the way. That's what that feels like. Okay, don't let that happen again. So,
yeah, for sure.
It's a good feeling. In a weird way, it's a good feeling.
I've definitely had I've definitely had my boxing coach demonstrate a punch on me that like almost winded me. Like a demonstration punch. Like he was like, yeah, guys, and this is what he's leaving himself open for this, and just like, it's just like, whoa, like, okay, that was like 30 years of training going into my chest right there.
yeah, that shit is wild. But it's cool because like the progress comes really fast, and like I don't know, confidence is like the biggest thing. I feel like so much of it is like just you know, you were talking about, and by the way, this is why I really like talking to you and your take on even chess positions, and we're talking about, we're going over these games, and I feel like you talk to a lot of like, you know, even extremely high level chess players, but they're talking more on the practical, like literal, this is the position, this is what you should be doing. But we just talked about a lot of like psychological stuff. You were talking about playing this position with confidence, like, you know, we talked about even time usage and things like that, and I feel like that element of it, like not a lot of chess players always focus on. But that's going to be as important as that's going to be in the chess. That's going to be like 4 times as important in the boxing.
Yep.
Or more. Because like, for example, I had this thing for a while when I was kind of sparring for the first time, where I was like, I can't actually hit this guy. Like my, you know, I'm sparring with my coach, and like, okay, I'm like, his defense is too good for me to really open him up. And then I was like, well, how do you get around that? Like, and what I realized was what he would do a lot of the time is he would just come down the middle and, you know, pretty simple stuff, jabs and straights, but he would punch hard enough to where I would feel it like I'd be trying to block, you know, I'd be in my turtle shell or whatever, but I would feel, you know, you punch someone hard enough, it doesn't matter if they block, they're going to feel it because their own, and then they start thinking about that, and they're like, oh shit, he's hitting so hard that like they start questioning what they know. They start questioning their technique. So you can put, I realized you can put a lot of pressure, and this sounds really stupid, it sounds like fucking brain dead, but you can put a lot of pressure on someone just by punching really hard. Because they got to think about that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
once
And
you
they
establish someone's power level, then it's like, okay, shit, I gotta respect that.
Yeah, 100%. And so I was just like, I was like, this motherfucker's just jabbing me, but like, it's scary. And I'm like, fuck, like, and that's when, if he gets, he would like jab me a couple times, and then he'd be like, like he'd like faint, and then like get me with an over or something, and I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And it would just like, so there's a lot of mental aspect to it, and on top of the physical, and the physical kind of begets the mental in that sense. Like if you're strong enough, then you're gonna fuck with the way they're thinking too. And I think that aspect of it's really cool. And I guess chess has a component of that, even if it's not as pronounced.
A component, yeah. Like if I'm making moves, like for example, if I'm playing like your opponent in this game, and I'm going like queen e6 check, queen g6, attacking g2, and you go g3, right? And then later on, I attack a pawn and you just defend it. It's like, if I see you reacting to threats with always defense and always like deal with the threat in front of you, then I'm going to take more liberties with like how I play, because there are some threats that aren't really threats, or they can be met more actively in response. But if I see a player in chess like just kind of always defending, always passive, then I'm probably just going to stomp them, because I know that's how they're going to react to everything. And I'm going to pick my spots where a passive reaction is going to be the worst reaction.
Right. Yeah, this is something that I've been like thinking a lot about recently, is like sometimes you just got to say fuck it and like just start generating your counterplay, even if just to give them something to think about.
Yep.
Like I mean, good example is like last weekend I was pretty much just I played this guy in the classical tournament at Mechanics Institute, and I was just fucking worse the whole game. This guy came out the gate with 1b4, and he was like an old dude. He was like old, like I think Soviet-born dude. He was like 78 years old, and I'm pretty sure he was like literally from Eastern Europe. And it was really funny. He was winning. Not winning, but he was better the whole game, and I just didn't really know what was going on. I felt like he had a better grasp of position. And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to sack. I was down a pawn pretty solidly in an endgame, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to sack another pawn just to get a passer and make some shit happen. And whatever happens, happens. And I actually fucking won the game because he blew a tactic.
Right.
Yeah, it was just a better way to play.
Yeah, like it'll happen all the time. For example, if I'm playing like Hikaru and the game is like kind of closed or whatever, it'll just favor me because it's really in my style and really out of his. But if he'll sacrifice and open things up, even when it's like +2 for me, it doesn't matter, because stylistically the game is now in his territory, even though it's like not good. So there's obviously a limit to that. You can't give up like a queen and open the position, right? Yeah. And similarly, if he doesn't give up anything and gets an open position, I'm probably dead. But there's like that range where it's like, yeah, how much can I give up to get this in my style of fight, basically.
That's sick. Yeah. You never hear about this sort of thing from like, I feel like a lot of like chess commentary, like when I watch high level games, like they don't talk about this kind of thing enough. But it's like, it's so fascinating.
I think it's less apparent. Like chess is such a universal style, whereas like boxing, you really can have like a power puncher. But in chess, like the engine will just roast you if you're like a power puncher chess player.
Yeah.
It's like a little unforgiving.
Yeah. That definitely seems to be the case, like caveman chess.
Yeah, if it wasn't so solvable, like if there wasn't a best move in every position, like, a power puncher is always going to be vulnerable to the counter or whatever, or like to, punching themselves out or whatever. But, if the other person, even if the other person knows that, they can still get socked in the fucking head. But like in chess, if the other person like finds the best move against your, questionable attack, sorry, but you're just gonna lose.
Yeah. It's it's I don't know. It like it is what it is. I feel like it was funny because, by the way, are you guys covering any of Eric's games for the when's that gonna be?
For the tournament, like the Magnus thing that he's at right now.
That's your thing, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been covering them every day. They start at like 8:15 a.m.
That's fucking wild.
And they've been since Monday Today
Mother.
I had something else, other commentary to
Is
do
that
in the morning. So Jeff was
is that
covering most.
8:15? Jeff,
Eastern.
is it 8:15 East Coast?
Eastern, 8:15 Eastern, buddy.
That's why I'm not. That's why.
Yeah,
I'm
you have no
not.
shot. Yeah,
It's 5. That's 5:15 for me.
that's
I
brutal.
like when you guys. The first time I came in when you were covering some Eric's games a while back in the rapid event where when he beat Magnus and
Yeah.
was it Mamadjarov or Nepo, and I was like, I really appreciated the lack of the eval bar Andy situation. I thought
For
that
sure.
was pretty cool. Definitely
That's
added a bit
I guess that's a regular.
because it added that
staple.
stylistic component. You
Yes.
you actually get to talk about the people.
Yep.
And not just whoop. Guess that move was shit.
Yeah,
Objectively
GG.
speaking, so there's nothing to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do all of our commentary, and I don't know. I think it's you can obviously make the argument that some people that aren't into chess and want to get into it, like they want an eval bar because like they want to know what's going on. They don't want to feel alienated from the game. But I think if you have the right commentator, you can bring people into the game with your voice, like with what you're saying about the game, rather than having the thing. And you can remind people, which I always do, like, yes, that will give us an answer as to what's going on in the game, but I can also give you that answer. So just, listen to me. Let me be your eval bar for the moment and try to figure some stuff out on your own as to why that might be the case.
Yeah. Yeah, I fully agree. But yeah, this was super dope. Down to do this more often. We're gonna get more than one W. I will say though, I liked my little steady progression, like 2 L's, and then we got to draw, and then finally a W. So at least we got a little bit of a ramp up, But next week I'll get some more W's for you guys.
We were hyped for the W's. Honestly, I actually wanted to say, and I can just say it on stream because it just happened.
Yeah.
So I'm at like a gym right now, and I was gonna try another one because I'm gonna stick with like both of them maybe and try to get some more one-on-one sessions going. And so I got like a call from the guy, and it was like right before we went live, and he was like, he's like letting me know when we could start or whatever, and he's like, so how's like next Wednesday at 4? And I was like, oh shit, that's my slot with Toph, but it's the only thing he had, and I was like, all right, booked. So I took next Wednesday at 4 with this guy to get things started, and I think I'll do like more sparring. So maybe we can find another time next week. Let's make it regular,
Let's definitely make it. Yeah, let's make it regular. We'll definitely do this more often. And I don't know. I'll hit you up. We'll find a time slot. Yeah, Let me know if that turns into a regular thing with this guy.
Yeah.
And do you think you're going to be streaming after that? Because my Wednesdays are often pretty much open for the whole afternoon, so we could even do after that if you want.
I think this one is almost like a cursory meeting, like just to set things up and maybe get a schedule and like how often and what we need to do, like really regiment wise, and it might not be like at that time every week, so I'm not expecting it to be a regular thing. It's just like to meet and have a bit of a longer session. I think that was like the only time you had.
Yep. No, that makes sense.
But
we'll figure it out.
We can figure it out. But in general, my Wednesdays are good, man.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The only thing that I sometimes do on Wednesdays, but this would be way later because this would be like 6 p.m. Is there's actually like an over the board like Blitz meetup that I kind of started going to in the evenings.
Ooh, yeah, definitely don't miss that. That sounds dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like there's a couple people there that are like 2000-ish, like USCF, which is like great for me because they actually got like a good skill band. They got like people like under my level, and then they got people who are like over my level, but like they're good matches. They're good games.
So wait, will you go tonight?
Actually tonight I'm going to stay home and finish my taxes. But I would go tonight. If I wasn't.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Are you guys doing more over the board like Jack London Square style, that kind of content?
Not at the moment, but I don't know if you've know about this chess.com global championship tournament that's happening right now.
Yes.
So like that's the finals are like coming to Toronto November 2nd to 7th. So that's kind of like there'll be some people in town, maybe there's like some content to do around then, so that might be his first week in November. That might be a time.
Oh, we gotta get some. So this is like top like super GMs are gonna be in town.
Yeah, like Naka. I think
Oh, shit.
Andrekin. If Nepo wins, then he'll be there. So some top players and like Danya and Robert will be there for commentary. I'll be doing
Damn.
the live commentary as well, but it'll be at like a dope location and very very similar to the Smash event that you know we checked out together. Or, you showed me around at.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
gotta get like,
just that.
we gotta get like Nepo against that one fucking guy from the park.
Exactly, you know.
that's the final challenge right there.
They can
See if
play
Nepo
for
can take
the
that guy
shirt
down.
off his back.
Yeah, that's sick. I will definitely tune into that. But all right, fuck yeah.
Yeah, man, this was dope for sure. I hope people enjoyed it. Like, you're at a great level, I think, because you are genuinely stronger than most of the chat, at least over here. Like 1800, like solid 1800 in all categories is like a very solid rating.
Yeah.
So you are
But they can
stronger.
still call me out.
They can call
when
you
I
out.
play like dog shit.
For sure, we got some armchair generals, so
Good.
you know, I'm sure they'll call you out. But at the same time, it's you're also at a level where you know you'll make a mistake that they can identify with for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I think, you know, I think it's cool because like I feel like there's a lot of things I can do to improve right now. And I feel like there's a lot of ways I can kind of go about chess improvement for the next 2 months. And probably a lot of those things will be like relatable for people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a whole improvement process. So boxing, chess, obviously the chess is more familiar to people here, but the boxing journey is also totally different. Like I'm so interested to see the level that I'm at, whatever that is, in December compared to like, you know, before this was even a thing. Where I'm like at ground zero.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Let me know. What do you? And you still don't know when you're gonna spar for the first time.
No, but it'll be like I'll definitely let you know, but it'll probably be at this newer place because the reason I got in touch was like one of them is more like one of the gyms that I go to is more group class focused and just like volume. So just like making sure you do it super regularly. He'll kick your ass in class, make sure you're leaving unhappy, you know, like just hating boxing. And this one I'm doing for more like sparring, like game day kind of prep.
Yeah, that's sick. That's a good that's like my 2 chess coaches. The one that I always take lessons with at the secret / not so secret one.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, I think. No matter what.
I think it is a good way to do it. All right, well, yeah, best of luck with that, and I guess till next time, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the session as well. I think it's good for people to hear and like to know that you're also doing the chess boxing as well. Like there are many other matches on the card, and yours is going to be super exciting. And obviously, we're rooting for you as well, bud.
Dude, I think. By the way, I my understanding is it's kind of funny because I think they're doing it because if you look at the trailer, like Ludwig's trailer for the event,
yeah,
I think they're doing it in roughly ascending order of elo, which means I might be the match before you.
Oh yeah,
because I think me and
sick.
Sardos are the 2 strongest guys there besides you and Trent.
I was gonna say like I don't know everyone's rating, but I know that at 1800, like you should be like levels above people in chess.
Yeah. Like I think a lot of the other streamers, you know, like Myth is like 100. I don't know. It's like a 3-digit number, and then like I think Box and those guys are like 1,000-ish. You know,
exactly.
So yeah, I think we might be the last 2 matches.
Let's go. That might be
pretty fucking sick. So
the co-main.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes, yeah. We gotta get, dude. It's hype. We're like I fucking. I'm definitely trying to have some homies like there, like present. Like I'm trying to have a little posse,
little entourage.
A little entourage. We're gonna roll up on these fuckers.
Yeah, I'm still undecided. Might have Omid Malik do the walkout rap.
Yes, that's what we need right there. We got to get the drip guy.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be fucking hype.
I've thought about it. You know, I can hear it already. Like, you know, and got my man Amon, and he's facing Lawrence Trent. And Lawrence Trent is gonna have a Lawrence dent in his Lawrence head. Like he's gonna be I can see the lines already. So just let my man Omid work. You know.
That might make it a little too easy. Like if Omid's there, I think it might not even be entertaining anymore because it's going to be such a
yeah.
It's just over before it starts. Trent's just not going to be able to handle it.
No. That's intimidation right there, honestly.
Yeah. Dude, fuck yeah. All right, well, yeah, peace out. I'm gonna stream for a little while longer. Like I'm actually probably just gonna grind a little bit. I'm gonna start doing a thing. Probably won't do it for these games, but I'm gonna play some games where and I know it's a little dubious what the word blunder really means, but I'm just gonna go by the chess.com definition. I think for every blunder, I'm gonna do a push-up. Trying to incorporate the physical component.
That's good.
So gonna keep a little scorecard going.
Every blunder, do a push-up. So, that's either gonna be a push-up stream, or you're just gonna get no workout at all, and you're just gonna be complaining. Guys, I'm too good out here.
It's win-win. It's win-win.
Nice. Well, yeah. I'll just say at the end then, I'll just shout out your channel and make sure people go follow Toph, because you're gonna be doing some regular streams, prep for chess boxing, plus the regular grind. So probably be very active. Good time to follow.
Yeah, come say hi. If you're from, if you come in my chat, anytime, chessbrah's in live or something, come say hi and be like, oh, I came from the chessbrah channel. We'll treat you good.
Yeah, man. Just get that back entrance, type treatment. Roll up in the SUV.
That's right. What's up, Neil? Nice to meet you too, buddy. All right.
Yeah, but take care. Enjoy. Happy grinding. And we'll be in touch about another session, buddy.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Later.
Peace out.